purchases. Use promo code RIDER for a 20...
It's time to wake up. Kincade Salciunas is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios. Here are your hosts, John Kincade and Andrew Salciunas.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
And we have reached the midway point of Wild Card Week. Eagles-Niners Sunday 4:30. And hopefully a long road ahead for the Eagles in the month of January and hopefully maybe the month of February as
aren't you
well.
greedy? You're being greedy this morning.
I'll be greedy, damn
I
it.
like it.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I like that greediness.
Good morning to you, Johnny.
I like it because it brings you into the hope column.
Sure.
That because I know you want it to happen.
Yes.
But you're not a believer that it's going to happen, so I like that you've got that at least in your head.
And that's why my opinion for starter sit was all based off of hope. I hope that if they sat their starters, the offensive line would get a little bit healthier. And then I hope that they find some semblance of a running game. And if they have a running game, I hope that they could put teams away because I know that the defenses will keep them in every single game. And that's that. But, we're done with this.
Hey, we're done with it. Done with the hope.
So yesterday, Johnny, you said something in the very first segment of the show that I immediately took note of, and I wanted to save it for today because we had a lot of stuff planned yesterday. Sure. But it's amazing, and I don't think you're wrong. This is not like a pushback thing by any means. This is everybody is open to this conversation, but I imagine feelings will be different depending on age. I do believe that's a big part of it. So yesterday, in the beginning of the show, mentioned it's wild card week. Like, regardless of how we have felt about this team throughout the course of the season, regardless of how we feel about their chances to getting to an NFC championship game, getting to a Super Bowl, it's still playoff time in Philadelphia, which is always such an amazing time. And you said you think that you appreciate it more than even Connor and I because you went through decades of bad football, whereas Connor and I, at the age of 32 and 31, respectfully, I'm 32, you're 31.
Are spoiled brats.
We've never seen a bad era, right? Like, we have seen bad seasons, and then they've bounced back the very next year, whether it was with McNabb's injury and Andy Reid, whether it was the final year of Chip Kelly, but then, year one, it's Doug Peterson, Carson Wentz. You're excited for that. Year two, they win the freaking Super Bowl with Nick Foles. We have never gone through dark times in Philadelphia if you are of the age of 30 or less. Like, we are blessed for that. So
one man's blessed is another man's spoiled brat, but I get you.
I hear you.
I got the premise. So tell me about it.
I want to know from people today. It's 610-632-0975. As we put to bed the conversation about starter rest.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that one.
It's over. We know that the Eagles are playing the 49ers. What does this mean to you? The fact that we are about to embark on hopefully another long journey of Philadelphia Eagles playoff football, hosting at least one playoff game at Lincoln Financial Field where we know a game against the Commanders where it's Tanner McKee and Josh Johnson. You were there, Johnny. It was still a loud environment. This is even different. This is Sunday, 4:30. It's going to be decent weather on Sunday.
Really nice.
There's going to be plenty of tailgating. It's going to get dark. The lights are going to turn on. They're going to have some incredible pregame showing with the fireworks because the sun will be setting at 4:30. And you know that place is going to be electric on Sunday. So I'm curious to hear from people, what does another playoff season mean to you for the Philadelphia Eagles? I do want you to start because I agree with you that this has to mean more or different. I don't want to say more, but different because I don't want to say like I don't care. It means different for you because you saw a lot more dark times in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and I think that's the key is that it's a level of appreciation. I think that the older you are within the fan base, the more you appreciate seeing them in the postseason.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to contradict myself right off the bat. And I'm going to tell you that when you are the Super Bowl champions and you've been to 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls, making the wild card and being a the fact that you have to the wild card is going to be your only home game already sets up to me that they need help. I don't like the work that they did all year long to position themselves for this. So what I look at this week as it's the start of something that I expect to be much longer.
Sure.
So what I'm looking for is get in, get your business done, and get the hell out. Get in, get out. I want an efficient weekend. So when I'm looking at this, I'm saying I'm very appreciative they're there, but now it's like, okay, just get to work. Let's make short work of this because I want them to get on. You're the Super Bowl champs. Get on to next week.
Yeah, and look.
And that sounds stupid.
The Eagles belong here, right? And that was one of our messages before the season started, right? Like, own it. Own the fact that the Eagles are defending Super Bowl champions. Own the fact that they are Super Bowl favorites. You know, this is going way back to the month of August and early September. But we wanted to own it. And, the D word, we got to see something happen first before we can spell that D word out. I'm saying dynasty.
Well, disappointing.
Right.
You can spell that one out.
Yeah, that's true, too. But ultimately, they're back. And I'm already starting to get the butterflies. It's only Wednesday.
You are.
Yeah. I mean, regardless of how I feel about this team, playoff football, playoff hockey,
but
playoff baseball, playoff basketball.
Wow, you're feeling already on Wednesday morning, you're feeling butterflies for Sunday.
Yeah, and part of it is what I said to you guys yesterday. The Eagles, at this point, style points be damned, right? Like, if they win 3-0, they won a playoff game. And I'll come in here Monday morning, ready to go, talking Eagles, whoever. Could be Rams.
Eagles, Bears, could be Rams, whatever.
And I'll be ready to go and say, hopefully the offense looks better next week, but a playoff win is a playoff win, and I'd be fired up. Whereas throughout the course of the season, I've been waiting for the offense to finally show something. I'm not expecting it at all. So I'm just ready to go to war. That's all I care about at this point.
It's so funny because we're at a totally different place. They win 3-0 on Sunday. I will absolutely not be there. I will not join you there. And I've been the one all along that has been far more optimistic on this team and far more complimentary of where I believe and my belief in this team.
Well, maybe that's why.
They come out there and win Sunday 3-0. I am absolutely saying that is an abomination. It's ridiculous. You put up 3 points on that defense?
Just win, baby.
You put ridiculous. You put
Al
up 3,
Davis.
Absolutely
just
ridiculous.
Win, baby. I mean, that's where I'm at.
Al Davis didn't look at this team coming in this weekend, this beat up, this situation. If the Eagles go out there and win a game 3-0, it's not about style points. It's about that this Eagles team is not achieving once again. And my belief factor of them going anywhere will be extremely poor.
Connor, what does another playoff season mean for you? You and I, right around the same age. And so I say, yes, I think this does mean more for John, being able to say, man, my Eagles are in the playoffs again. Whereas we're used to it, right? And look, that is cool. Like, we are spoiled, and I like being spoiled. I don't want to have to go through the mud. I don't, the Paul Reed out the mud. Like, you know what? No, I want to be squeaky clean. I want to be spoiled. People complain about the microwave society. Yes, I want things to happen quickly, and I want it to go my way. And my way is the Eagles making the playoffs almost every single year. How does it feel for you, Connor?
I don't like where I'm at as an Eagles fan right now. I don't like where my mentality is, and I've been trying to fight against this. But I clearly, like, when I think about this game and think about where the Eagles are, making the postseason again, 5th time under Nick Sirianni in a row, I don't have that juice in the moment right now where I'm like, hell yeah, another playoff run, let's go. Like, because here's the thing with Sunday's game. I don't have the butterflies. I think very confidently that they're going to win. I think very confidently that I'm not going to like the way that they look when they do win. And a win does very little for my mentality with the Philadelphia Eagles, where a loss does everything. It's almost like and playoff wins will always be celebrated, and you guys know how I watch.
Sure.
Right? During the game, I'm going to be screaming at the TV. I'm going to be fired up. Like, I will get there by Sunday. But sitting here on Wednesday of a wild card home postseason game and saying, oh, a win is okay and a loss is brutal and the goals are so much higher than this, so the juice hasn't gotten there yet for me. I don't like that, but I can't lie to you and say that's not how I'm feeling.
I love your honesty, Connor. And the weird thing is, though, is that you and I are sort of at the same place because I don't have those butterflies at all. And if you had said to me, which one of the three of us would have butterflies about the game on Wednesday morning, if you had said to us on Monday morning, I would have said, I've got them most likely. Connor's got them second most likely.
I'd be at the bottom.
You have them at the bottom, and you're the one with the butterflies.
I'm always here to surprise you.
Because now the weird thing is that I'm looking at it, and my sort of feeling is I'm almost looking past the second weekend, which is always a stupid mentality to have as a fan.
Especially in the playoffs.
It's a stupid mentality.
But we've talked about this before. When you have a team that's a championship caliber or championship expectation team, you view games, regular season or early postseason, a different way. I have to imagine New England did the same thing. Kansas City did the same thing. We're not here for the wild card. San Francisco might be, but we're here for February.
That's the truth.
Yeah, and you know what? That might be part
point.
of my feeling, though. Like, I expected them to be here, right? Like, they're coming into the season as tumultuous as this year has been, right? Freaking out about Kevin Patullo every single day, Nick Sirianni, some of his decision-making, talking about the offense and what the hell's going on with this team, talking about, is it Jalen Hurts' fault? Is it Kevin Patullo's fault? A.J. Brown drama, right? Like, there was so much crap that we had to deal with throughout the course of the season, and yet September 4th at 6 a.m., the day of opening kickoff, we expected them to be here.
I almost expected, though, 1 seed. Like, so
sure,
to me,
I got you.
So to me, a 3 seed is. I honestly am very disappointed to see them as a 3 seed.
I'm not.
I expected no less than 2 home games, guaranteed. And they could have had that if they hadn't been brain dead on Sunday afternoon. You know, the only team in the NFL that had something to play for that decided not to.
Or if the offense was able to put away games in previous weeks.
They did, but you had it in your hands on Sundays. The point is that the idea is that, to me, I'm just disappointed with a lot of things about this year. But now it all has a chance to be cleansed. It can all be cleansed with a big, big January.
So what does another playoff appearance mean for you? Do you have the butterflies yet? Because I got them. I have them on Wednesday, and it's because
– Are they good? Are they good butterflies?
Like I'm excited. I've been miserable all year.
Yeah, you have. You've been a little bit.
I've been miserable about an 11-6 3 seed.
You have been.
But I expected them to be here, regardless of record, regardless of seeding. I expected to be talking about the Philadelphia Eagles playoff run the week of the second week of January. Right? Like, I expected it. Now, they could have been the 1 seed, you're right. But I expected to be talking about paths and how can they get back and all this kind of stuff. So they're here. And now that we're here, I'm excited for it. It wasn't wake me up when. Eagles is too hard.
No.
Eagles is too hard. Like, baseball, I understand. It's a long season. Basketball, hockey, I understand it's a long season. Football, it's 17 games.
But are your butterflies different? Like, when you say butterflies, you got butterflies. Are your anxious butterflies, like, different? Because they are for me. Like, sometimes I have the anxious butterflies where it's like I'm concerned about the outcome of the game where I really don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah, I'm not queasy now.
The worst butterflies I have is when I think, like I'm feeling right now, they can't lose. And that's sort of how I'm feeling, because if they lose, it is a huge disappointment.
Oh, yeah, sure. No, I have game day butterflies, and it's not game day.
So it's not. You already have game day butterflies.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, happy birthday to my sister before I forget.
Happy birthday, sis.
Maybe it's birthday butterflies.
Maybe it's birthday butterflies, or maybe it's a different kind of butterflies.
Maybe it's gas.
Could be.
Could be. You had a few cocktails.
The Flyers brought the gas. No, I'm dry January, baby.
Oh, it is.
Last night, Johnny and I, Connor, the great Sean Rodman, hung out with listeners.
Great listeners.
If you guys remember, we did the incredible Name That Caroler. And 5 winners won a pair of tickets to sit in a suite with us for last night's Flyers game. Flyers, Ducks. Flyers, Gauthier. Zegras, Gauthier. And last night was such an incredible experience. Before we all speak on it, let's hear a little bit of how it sounded on 97.5 The Fanatic. Give me the Zegras second goal of the night.
Again, into the middle, picked off by Tibbet. He'll skate back in. Goes behind the back, gets it back to the point, coming in late. York gives it up. They score! It's Zegras! Zegras has his second on the power play. Trevor Zegras is making a point to his former club. He's got 2, and the Flyers lead it 2-1.
And, of course, that was in the first period, both goals. We're sitting there all night thinking, is the Hattie going to happen? Is he going to get the third goal? And he had a couple chances, didn't get it, but the Flyers beat the Ducks yesterday 5-2. Before we even talk about the game itself, John, first thing I want to say is I love all of you. I love the city of Philadelphia. I understand that doing this job, there is so much backlash to opinions, right?
Yes.
Us saying that the Sixers had an embarrassing loss to the Nuggets the other night when the Nuggets did not have a single starter play still got backlash, right? Because there are people that will, go to the very end with our teams. And I love that.
Well, what do they argue with?
What
do you
trap
possibly
game,
argue?
it happens.
Yeah,
blah,
with no starters playing?
Yeah,
Scheduled loss.
Yeah, scheduled
Ridiculous.
loss. Like, it was an embarrassing loss.
It's a scheduled loss for the team with 9 players.
But I get it. That's what people do in all cities. They will fight tooth and nail for their team. If somebody says something negative about them, they're ready to go to war, right? Last night, regardless of how you feel about teams, regardless of how you feel about us, when the puck drops, when the ball's tipped off, kicked off, first pitch, we're all on the same page. We want the team to win. We want to celebrate it the next day, regardless of how we feel. I'm called a negative every single day about the Philadelphia Eagles, but when we kick off on Sunday at 4:30, we're all going to be on the same page. Let's go, Birds. Last night was a Tuesday freaking night. Last night was a Tuesday after the holidays when everybody's back at work.
And you're just getting back in the routine
grind,
and everything.
The
right?
hustle and bustle, the having to go back to work, sitting through traffic, getting the kids back to school. This is week 1 of the post-holiday season. And that building at the Xfinity Mobile Arena, you would think it was the second night of winter vacation. It was packed.
It was great.
And I understand a lot of people probably bought tickets just to boo Cutter. And you know what? You all did a hell of a job with that yesterday. From before the anthem, when it got silent, you heard, bleep you, Cutter, from somebody in the stands, and the place went nuts. Everybody's laughing. And then you have the great rendition from Lauren Hart. And then the puck's dropped. And then Cutter scores the first goal. And the place just goes nuts. Everybody's booing Cutter Gauthier. And then they fight back with the Zegras goals. And all night, it didn't matter if it was 10-2 last night. Every time Cutter stepped back onto the ice, that building was rocking. It was like when Ben Simmons made his return.
Never lost it.
Anytime Ben Simmons had the ball in his hand, the Sixers fans were booing. Anytime Cutter jumped over the boards to get onto the ice, he got booed. Anytime the puck was on his stick, he got booed. And every time the Flyers did something, that place was electric last night. The barn, whatever you want to call it, was alive yesterday, Johnny. It was so much fun to be at. I was lucky to be there. And the best thing is, this is just the beginning. It's a rebuild. There's still a lot that needs to be done, and yet they have 51 points on January 7th, Johnny.
It's ridiculous.
And what you're seeing now is people, the reason why I said a lot of people probably went just to boo Cutter, that means people are invested. That means people want to go out of their way to go to games. We always talk about when a team is sort of on the map, gate tickets, right? They're season ticket holders. And the Flyers fans do a tremendous job with that. But when people go, I want to go to a Flyers game tonight, like how Connor did a couple weeks ago. I want to go see the Flyers take on the Sabres. Buffalo sucks, but you just wanted to go to the game to watch the Flyers. They're on the map right now, Johnny, and I couldn't be more happier.
Well, it's great. And Connor, I was very impressed last night as Andrew was pulling out every single hockey term
Hell yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
that he's ever heard or learned. I mean, Martinez probably gave him a cheat sheet.
Sure.
I mean,
He only
was
yelled shoot like 3 times. so it was
I
great.
never
No, he
yelled
didn't
shoot.
do that. He was good.
That was Brendan
He
Petrelli.
was good with that. I was so impressed because to me, it's that I sort of feel like there's a love affair starting with a group of players that this fan base is starting to attach to. And last night, what is more important, and I think it's even more important about what happened last night, it was a old school type of game with the real physical nature of it, with two teams that hate each other.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of commonality between the rosters. And not only does that create great interest for the fans, it created great interest, I believe, for a team of players coming together and building that energy amongst each other. What I loved is every time a Flyer had any kind of, well, let's just say there was something going on around a Flyer, there were 2 other Flyers in the vicinity. That tells me everything I need to know, because I can promise you this. Rick Tocchet would crush a player if he wasn't seeing players come to each other's aid. That team comes together a little bit after last night. I'm very excited about what I've seen. For them to be at 51 points at the halfway point is crazy. Do not print your playoff tickets yet, because the Eastern Conference is very clogged. But
doesn't mean we can't be having fun right now.
Oh no!
Man.
Enjoy
blast.
every bit of it, and just don't absorb it right now for what it is. It's fun at the barn.
The barn,
it's
baby.
fun every single time you come to the rink right now. It's been really exciting.
It was such a great experience last night. And again, the Flyers fans constantly being on Cutter Gauthier yesterday.
Awesome.
Here's how it sounded on the Fanatic.
Well, without that little bit of a giveaway, TK was having a heck of a shift out there. Some good opportunities offensively and some physical plays as well.
Guess who just stepped on the ice? Do I need to even say it?
I think that's the old Cutter Gauthier coming out there for a wheel right now, and the fans are letting him have it.
He hadn't even touched the puck yet. Couturier deflects it out at center ice.
That was the entire game. Entire game.
Never stopped.
It never stopped. Third period, empty net. It never stopped. Now, by the way, I need to do this. Standing O. I'm proud of the Flyers organization.
With what?
They had a player return yesterday, and they did not get the video tribute.
No, they just showed him on the screen.
Just showed him on the screen.
Ryan Poehling got a little video, and
no, he didn't get video. They just showed him.
No, they showed him on the video board. They show him, and they showed. And he
the
waved,
old Flyers.
And he waved.
The old Flyers would have done a top 10 highlight package.
Well, the Sixers would have done with like the Sarah McLachlan music. I will remember.
Why did the Sixers catch a stray just
Because
now?
the Sixers do that all the time with the videos. For God's sakes.
trying to give the Flyers some love.
No, I mean, enough of that.
All right, coming up next, does anyone feel worried about this game? I haven't really gotten that feeling from people yet. But we are getting more of an idea of how 49ers fans and media feel. Hear their fears. Next, it's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. All right, FanDuel is giving all customers a profit boost every college playoff game day. That means more chances to level up your picks and turn big moments into even bigger wins. Ride with the favorite, take a shot on the underdog, or build a parlay, then apply your profit boost for bigger winnings. FanDuel is the best place to get into the football action all playoff long, whether it's college or the NFL. And when you win, you get paid instantly. Miami, 3.5-point favorites against Ole Miss. Indiana, 3.5-point favorites against Oregon. That's going to be tough, man. I may go with a Miami-Oregon championship. We'll see. Visit FanDuel.com/Fanatic. That's FanDuel.com/Fanatic to get your college playoff profit boost today. You got to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as knowledgeable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Another day closer. I'm Connor Thomas. The Eagles are another day closer to hosting the 49ers in the wild card round Sunday, 4:30 p.m. from the Link. Obviously, the 12-win Niners are a talented football team that's going to bring challenges for the Birds on Sunday. Vic Fangio and Kevin Patullo both met with the media and talked about those challenges for their respective sides of the ball yesterday. Here's what Vic Fangio had to say about that Niners offense.
You know, they have a really good scheme. It's all packaged together very nicely. Obviously, Purdy operates it very well. McCaffrey's an elite back. I mean, they had a run where they were hottest offense in the league for like 6-7 weeks in a row.
So the defense has their work cut out for them. We'll get our first injury report of the week today as we get to see how much resting the starters in Week 18 paid off for health heading into the postseason. Nick Sirianni will also meet with the media today at 11:50 a.m. Flyers had an impressive win over the Ducks last night, a 5-2 final. Trevor Ziegler scored 2 in the first period against his former team. Flyers have the night off tonight. Sixers are back on the floor hosting the Wizards tonight at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. A 7 p.m. tip-off. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Don't miss Adam Schefter joining us coming up at 8:05. A lot of coach moves in the NFL. He'll react to that and also what his thoughts are on the Eagles as we head into the postseason. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Salciunas coming your way now.
This hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White, they're here for the pro.
It is 6:31 here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic on this Adam Schefter Wednesday. Obviously, you guys have heard a couple times. If you're just tuning in, we've changed the clocks a little bit here, which we like. So 8:05 is the new Shefty time. It had been 7:55 over the past year. Now 8:05 moving forward with Adam Schefter on Wednesdays. So obviously having a lot of fun. What does another playoff appearance for the Eagles mean for you? Different generations probably means different. Expectations may mean different for people. So you can climb in with that at 610-632-0975. And the Flyers, Johnny and I and Connor and Sean were at the game last night. And that building was alive. And it was so much fun. And it was real. I think that's the best part of it, John. So, over the years going to Flyers games, especially when they weren't true threats, true contenders, right? You would still get the Flyers fans that would want to go see them play the Rangers, would want to go see them play Sidney Crosby and the Penguins just to boo, right?
Yes.
But, that was the sole reason for it. Let me wear my Flyers sweater.
Nostalgia.
Let me go to the game. Let me boo the Rangers. Let me boo the Devils. Let me boo the Penguins. And you weren't really watching for your team to win because they weren't doing much of that over the last couple of years. Last night was a real let's go to the barn, let's go to the Xfinity Mobile Arena to boo Cutter Gauthier, but also to cheer on the team that may actually make the playoffs this year. I know you don't want to, set in stone
It's
yet.
way too early.
I know you don't want to print the tickets, buy the tickets. I get it. That's fine. That's fair. But you also can see that this is a much different product than what it's been like here recently in Philadelphia.
I'm very optimistic about things that they're doing. But I had people this morning on socials okay, do you think they need to go and acquire somebody right now, go make a trade or something? I'm like, no. I would acquire nobody for this team except a short-term veteran with an expiring contract. And I don't think Danny Briere's doing anything unless he could acquire somebody that was for the long term. I don't think they're not swinging for the fences. It's not the time in the rebuild to do that, because you've got young guys that will be coming up that will be helping this roster down the line.
A couple of responses on Twitter. Skull Flesh, interesting. I don't think anyone in this room thought the Flyers would have this record at this point. Absolutely not. And Go Sixers. Now, see, this is the beauty. Go Sixers, clearly, Sixers fan. There is a belief that you're one or the other. Oh, why can't we be both?
I think most people are both. I think it's just usually to different degrees.
Sure. He's wondering, do they still do the Pico?
Yes, they do.
Power play. Yes, they do.
They do.
Last night they got 17 of them because Anaheim was playing dirty.
Did they have 8 or 9?
Eight or nine power plays. It was a chippy game last night. It was a lot of fun to be at.
I was disappointed in the power play last night, I got to tell you. As an old coach, watching that power play, I was thinking I might send Rick some notes today.
Yeah, I think he would.
I don't think he'd appreciate it.
I
think he'd throat punch me.
Overall Flyers excitement you can climb in with as well at 610-632-0975. Now, going to the break, I asked a question about how we're feeling going into the Eagles game. We did the heat check on ESPN the other day, and going into the playoffs, the heat check for the Niners was a 6, and the heat check for the Eagles was a 4.
And they gave some sort of a vibes thing in favor of the Niners, which is exactly the opposite.
That was their analysis, right? But let's talk about us, right? I told you, I'm angsty going into the playoffs.
I can't believe this all of a sudden. This is crazy.
But I had butterflies. I'm excited.
Yeah, but I'm very surprised by this. This is great.
Part of it is I think they can beat this 49ers team. That's part of it. The other part of it is you've been doing a great job sending me audio or written word of people that talk about the Niners or cover the Niners.
They cover them on a daily. The rule is everybody that's going to speak in it has to cover them on a daily basis, where that's their job.
So
cover the 49ers.
The old PD here at the Fanatic, Matt Nahagian, is now the program director of 95.7 The Game. Out in the Bay Area.
95.7, that sounds like a really good signal.
Yeah, it does.
I bet it's strong.
And they obviously talk about the 49ers out there. So one of their hosts, they have a show, Willard and Dibs.
Yep.
Mark Willard, this was him yesterday or earlier in the week?
This was
Monday. Probably Monday.
It was Monday.
When they found out they're playing the Eagles. This was somebody who talks about the Niners every single day,
By
just
the
like
way,
we talk about the Eagles every single day.
One of a big 49ers, and I'm not saying fanboy, but a big 49ers like believer.
Sure.
Believer. This guy's a believer in the 49ers. Let's just hear what
We
he
got
has
a couple
to say.
clips of him. Here's Mark Willard talking about the Niners' draw of the Eagles.
Everybody said, man, it'd be amazing with all of this if they could just make the playoffs. It would be incredible if they could just make the playoffs. And I looked at the schedule, and the Niners play the Eagles this weekend, and it doesn't feel incredible. It doesn't feel incredible to a lot of you because we've arrived at this spot where, like, sort of an unfair carrot got dangled in front of our face. That's the way I look at it. The 1 seed was dangled in front of our face. The Niners are not the 1 seed.
Yeah, he was like, and he is a big fan of what Shanahan does, but he's also very, very honest with his audience.
Sure.
Very honest with his audience. I really respect his content. And let's just say he's not optimistic. He thinks that the Eagles are one of the worst draws that the 49ers could have had.
And look, we're talking about whether or not the Eagles should have played for the 2 seed. They're talking about having the 1 seed there, and they played one of their worst games, at least offensively. One of their better games defensively.
Well, 3 points at home?
3 points at home.
In
they
the
lose
game where you have
game.
the 1 seed right in your lap?
And then if they win playoff games, they would not have to travel at all because the Super Bowl is in their stadium.
And they'd only have to play 2. They don't like to play 2 games to go to the Super Bowl.
So that was kind of his immediate reaction. But then they started talking actual football, and this is what he had to say about the 49ers' woes against this Eagles team.
Brock Purdy wasn't bad. He wasn't good. He wasn't anything. No skill. Christian McCaffrey, was he bad? I don't even think he was bad. Like, that play was bad.
Yep.
But outside of that, did you see opportunities where the offense, and you're like, hey, dummy, you're supposed to do that? I didn't even see opportunities. I just saw an offensive line get overwhelmed, and that blows everything up.
An offensive line getting overwhelmed
by the Seattle front.
And the Eagles have a pretty good front.
Yeah, I think that could do some really amazing things.
So it sets up, again, well for the Eagles. If their offensive line, especially, we'll find out about Trent Williams. We'll talk to Adam Schefter today at 8:05. Is Williams going to be able to go? I imagine he's going to do whatever he can. It's a playoff game.
Today we're going to know a lot more when the
injury report comes out. Trent Williams, Hall of Fame left tackle. He's been out a lot with injuries. If he's ready to go, that'll change some things for the 49ers offensive line. But that's also just one guy. And the Eagles defensive line has not really had issues with many offensive lines in football this year. So it sets up well where an Eagles defensive line will once again be able to control the game. It just will come down to the same storyline that it's been coming down to for 17 weeks now. Can the offense carry their weight?
And that is where any apprehension that I have lies with a coach. And that's the thing, is that my apprehension is not with Jalen Hurts. My apprehension is not with Saquon Barkley. My apprehension is not with this Eagles defense at all.
Of course not.
My apprehension is with Kevin Patullo. Because I see Kevin Patullo scheming against a team that already had 2 feet in the sand at Cabo, and he had no plan against the Commanders.
That got so glossed over.
It did, because we were talking more about should they have played, should they have not, whereas
he was horrible.
He was horrible in that game.
Patullo was so bad Sunday against the Commanders. He's lucky that this debate existed, because if this debate didn't exist, we'd be talking about another horrible and maybe one of his worst performances of the season.
NFL Live said that they believe it may have been the worst game plan that they've seen from him.
Andrew DeCecco, the last 2 weeks, really for the first time all season, has eyes on Patullo, right? There's been a lot of collaborative issues, which I understand, right? And Andrew's a very analytical guy. I'm not saying analytics, but analytical guy when it comes to his evaluation of the football team. It's not as angry, one-sided pointing at an issue, right?
Sure.
He has now pointed at Patullo the last 2 weeks being an issue with the offense for the Philadelphia Eagles.
How can it not be?
Oh, it's been horrible.
It's been horrible. I mean, it's really, really bad, and it's looked really, really bad. It's felt really, really bad, and anybody with 2 eyes can see it.
Yeah. All right. Real quick, on our YouTube chat, I mentioned Skull Flesh.
What's
I
up,
only
Skull?
see your ats.
Is it Skull or Skull?
It's Sam Coleflesh, which is an awesome name.
Oh, okay. That is a cool
But
name.
the way I see it on my screen is Skullflesh 4824.
Oh, that is a cool name, though.
Because he butted me.
Well, first off,
he said it's Sam Coldflesh.
By the way, Sam, to me, is one of the best male names. Like, I think Samuel is
you won't do power rankings in football, but you'll power rank male names.
Hey, Samuel is a strong name, very strong, very biblical. And then Sam just works. Sam works for a girl, too. A girl's name. Sam's a good, strong girl's name, too.
Hasn't worked for a Flyers goalie this year, but.
No, it hasn't.
No.
Because usually it means you're going to give up at least one or two softies.
All right, let's go to Sean in Levittown. Instead of Sam, let's go to Sean. Sean, what's up, dude? You're on Kincade Salciunas.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good, Sean.
Yeah, I just wanted to, watching the game last night at home, and I could just feel the intensity on my couch, just being, just from the arena. It was a fun experience to watch. This team is, the Flyers hockey is back. Flyers hockey is back. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear you guys talk more about this as the season goes on. I'm with John. I'm not going to say that, we're going to be in the playoffs just yet because it's still early, but I love what I'm seeing so far.
Sam, you want me to give you a real good number this morning to everybody in the audience? If the Flyers were to go 22-19 in the second half of the season, win 22, lose 19, they'd have 95 points, and that's been enough to get you in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference.
Love that.
22-19.
Wow.
Sounds easy, but remember, it's all those half points. It's all those stupid shootout points and everything they got to worry about. So they got to start winning games in regulation.
Sean, we appreciate the call, man.
Thank you, buddy.
It's been a lot of freaking fun.
They won 22 in the first half.
Yeah.
You got to win 22 in the second half. And if you win 22 in the second half, you will be going to the playoffs. You'll have 95 points. You should be going to the playoffs.
Coming up next, as you can tell, we had a blast being at the game yesterday. So did Trevor Zegras. He clearly had a nice night. He scored 2 goals against his old team. Here are his emotions after the game next. This city will fall in love with this dude. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Every 97.5 The Fanatic.
6:48 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. One other thing to feel confident about the Eagles game on Sunday. Not that everybody should feel that confident about their offense. The 49ers defense is not good, and it's dismantled. Did you see who they signed yesterday?
I did not.
How about our old buddy Kaiser White?
I like Kaiser White. I did not. How did I miss this? When did this happen?
Do you like Kaiser White? Has he played this year?
He played for somebody this year, didn't he?
Raiders? He played for the Colts on September 21st.
That's it? Oh, my gosh. See, I like Kaiser White as a...
Oh, no, sorry. He played for the Titans against the Colts on September 21st.
And that's the only time he played?
Yeah. He was with the Cardinals the last two, in 23 and 24. He obviously followed Johnny G.
I liked him as a
Arizona.
tackler, though, man.
Yeah, but I mean, he hasn't played. Like, this is
he had 3 combined tackles in that game.
This is a desperation move because they don't have any. But now, look, if there's anybody you want to pick up, I'd rather Kaiser White than a guy that's never played in the NFL for a playoff game if you're the 49ers.
Okay.
But they're in a really tough spot. All their linebackers are hurt.
Okay, can I take you to a scenario with, like, okay, let's think. Kevin Patullo is going up against a team where all of their linebackers are hurt.
Oh,
wait a minute.
Ball 600 times.
It's Black Friday.
Yeah, that's right.
The Chicago Bears had every one of their linebackers hurt.
Wow.
What happened?
I was supposed to be the negative one.
No, no, it's not about being negative. It's about being honest. It's not pom-pom shaking. This man is so inept at drawing up a game plan. I have concerns because he should have been able to exploit the Bears.
That game, they didn't throw to Goddard. They didn't run the ball.
They didn't run the ball enough to exploit the lack of linebacker play. It was terrible. And Goddard was the one that was so maddening that day.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. But, yeah, so the 49ers are just signing players left and right, hoping to stick at linebacker because everybody else is just hurt. All right, so having fun with the Flyers as well this morning. I really liked our last caller, Sean. He was not there, but he felt the environment through his TV.
And he thanked us for it because we were the ones bringing it.
And, look, he also said, like, look, I hope you guys, I'm looking forward to you guys talking about them more. The thing that a lot of people, I think, miss sometimes, first off, we all know the pecking order in this city. There's a clear-cut number one, and it's the Eagles, right?
Correct.
Like, it's just the way that it is. We talk about Flyers fans versus Sixers fans. I wish we could just be both. There is no, like, non-Eagles fan unless you're one of these weird Cowboys fans, but you like the other 3 teams. Like, everybody is an Eagles fan regardless of what the Venn diagram is, who your other favorites are. Everybody's an Eagles fan. So there's a pecking order there.
And if someone suggests to you, you guys should be talking a ton of Flyers right now during Eagles season.
Yeah.
You will be literally out of business.
Now, let's also be honest with what it's been like after Eagles season. The Flyers have been pretty much dead. Like,
by the time the season was over, they've been done.
They've been done. And so that's why, like, last year, both teams were dead. Sixers were dead, too. So we were talking Eagles off season a week after the parade, right? Like, what are they going to do to try to get back? It's just the way that it is.
And then Phillies spring training kicks in and everything.
Right.
And thankfully, the Phillies have given us enough good stuff to talk about. But, no, it's great.
This isn't us. It's the Flyers. They've not been relevant enough in recent years.
Sports talk radio is not the Peace Corps.
No.
It's not a public service. It is the teams, by creating their own interest, then create the fan interest, and we can hear it and we can see it. We can see it in how many people come to the radio station to listen to games.
And it was so much fun.
We can see it. It's fun. And last night was awesome. Last night was great.
It was also a great night for Trevor Zegras, who scored 2 goals against his old team.
He was happy.
It led to this exchange, him with Scotty Hartnell after the game yesterday on NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Down here with Trevor Zegras. What a wild atmosphere here at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. It's fun for the fans, fun for us talking. How about playing?
It was amazing. I missed last year's game, but I heard all about it. I was fired up to play in this one. The boos were great, but the cheers were even better.
Oh, that's awesome. And a team that, might have given up on you, Trevor, and you come in here, you pot 2 in that first period. How good did that feel?
Amazing. Amazing. Oh, yeah.
Awesome, buddy. And I got to ask you about the celebration on the first one. You hung up the phone. Who was it to, and what's that all about?
I don't know. but that's about how quick the phone call was before, so I thought it'd be good. That's great. And one last one for you. Christian Dvorak signs a big ticket, 5 years. He better be buying the next dinner out, right? He's the best. He's amazing. I'm so happy for him. We love him, and it's a nice deal for both of them. Nice. Congrats on a big win. Back to you guys.
The phone call was when he got word that he was
It was like, thanks
here.
for your time, bye.
He was like, yeah, thanks, bye, because he was coming back to the East Coast.
Yeah.
He never was comfortable in California.
He's comfortable in Philadelphia, man.
He didn't dig. Look, he's a New York kid, and he didn't dig Southern California. And I have a ton of friends who live in Southern California, and the amount of them that have moved residences to Tennessee or to somewhere else that go back and they just work in California and live somewhere else. It's a place where if you're not from there, you might not be comfortable.
Fan.
He was never that comfortable there.
Well, he's comfortable here.
Oh, he loves it here.
And that clip's awesome. He's fired up. He clearly still
smiling ear to ear.
Feels a certain type of way about how it ended in Anaheim. And then one thing I want to point out, because you talked about this yesterday, I know there was a lot of upset fans about the 5 years for Dvorak, but you mentioned it that the players love him.
Oh no, he is.
You heard that out of Zegras, like they love him.
Well, the thing is you go and you read when they got Dvorak. I was reading about his old teammates and how much his old teammates regretted him leaving. And whenever you see that, you go, "Oh wow, he doesn't seem like that great a player, but he's one of those glue guys." And it's obvious that Rick Tocchet has identified it. Danny Briere has identified it as he is a glue guy that can help a team in transition, in a rebuild, to do things the right way, to have that chemistry. I'm glad to see him get paid. The 5 years, it's all about the average annual value of the contract. So that sort of goes a little over my head. I'm not going to act like I know all this stuff. So,
all right, coming up next, we'll check our text line, both Eagles and Flyers. The Eagles question, what does another playoff appearance mean for you? And what's your vibe check, your heat check going into the playoffs? Because I've not heard many Eagles fans worried about the 49ers, which I think that's great.
I don't feel worried.
That's fantastic. Also, there's been a common theme for losses with the 49ers this year, and it benefits the Eagles big time. Matt and some amazing betting numbers for the Eagles and Jalen Hurts in the playoffs. It is Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Eagles eyeing their opponent. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Birds are another day closer to hosting the 49ers in the wildcard round at the Link Sunday at 4:30. Obviously, the 12-win Niners, a talented football team, and that's going to bring challenges for the Birds. Vic Fangio and Kevin Patullo both met with the media and talked about that yesterday for their respective sides of the ball. Here's what Kevin Patullo had to say about that Niners defense.
Do a good job. They're really, really well coached. Coach Saleh does a good job. He's done a good job for a long time. They fly around with the ball. They're very physical. I mean, they play extremely hard. They're disciplined. So it's going to be a good test.
But injuries have been an issue for the Niners on that side of the ball, so we'll see what the Eagles offense does on Sunday. We'll get our first injury report of the week today as we get to see how much resting the starters in Week 18 paid off for the Birds. Nick Sirianni will also meet with the media today at 11:50 a.m. Flyers had a nice win over the Ducks last night, 5-2 final. Trevor Zegras scored 2 in the first period against his former team. They're off tonight. Sixers are back on the floor tonight hosting the Washington Wizards, a 7 p.m. tip-off. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Adam Schefter will join us coming up at 8:05 for his thoughts on the coaching carousel in the NFL and the Eagles' postseason chances. This update's brought to you by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's once-a-year sale and clearance is here. Their sleep experts will help you find your dream bed from a quality selection. They make sleep easy. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
97.5 The Fanatic. This is Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is a Adam Schefter Wednesday. Shefty joins us coming up at 8:05. I'm curious. One of the questions I'll ask Shefty is, sort of what the league thinks about the resting starters versus going for the 2 seed. So we'll talk to Shefty coming up at 8:05. And, of course, the coaching carousel that is in the NFL right now. We'll update you on everything coming up around 7:30. But I do have a question because we're not up to date with everything. Anyone request Patullo yet? Right, coaching?
I'm guessing that no. I'm guessing that he is not going to be interviewing for any head coaching jobs.
Question. Would that be even more of a reason to not bring him back? Like if let's say Howie's having a tough time making that decision, right? Well, let's get through the playoffs first. But like if the league doesn't look at you seriously, kind of like the first 18 years.
Yeah, well, you see, that's the key.
Would that be more of a reason to be like, yeah, we should probably go in a different direction here?
I got heat, and I'm not going to tell you the media members that did it to me because they're good guys. But I had a couple media members who cover the Eagles who gave me grief. Not gave me grief like just peer-to-peer, talking to them because of my take about Kevin Patullo saying, how can you be in the league 17 years and not get a calling, getting to call plays? Because for an offensive coach, play callers in the NFL, the average is around 6 years. You're on an offensive staff around 6 years before you get an opportunity to call plays. It took him 17.
Yeah.
There's a reason that he wasn't getting poached. And now we know the reason. We've seen it. It's in practice. And I had people saying to me, it's too harsh. You don't know all the circumstances and everything like that.
And he's been here, John.
Explain the circumstances to me. They couldn't explain the circumstances, so I said, you don't know the circumstances either. Well, now we know the circumstances. I think people knew he wasn't. Yeah. He's not the man. Now, look, it's good. Like he probably does a lot of things well for a staff.
Sure. I've said
but
this.
He's not meant to be. But you know what? Brian Johnson does a lot of things well.
I've said this 100 times, right? Like Brian Johnson. I'm not saying he doesn't know football. Brian Johnson might be a great quarterbacks coach, and that's it. Deuce Staley. People want him to be head coach.
Deuce Staley.
Deuce Staley might be a great running backs coach. The way he runs the room, the way remember Doug Peterson gave him the sort of the full power to cycle in running backs, who's on the field. There are some coaches that are tremendous. Jeff Stoutland, right? Like Jeff Stoutland is an incredible offensive line coach. I don't know what he'd be as a head coach. I don't know what he'd be. People thought he could be an offensive coordinator. Remember that was talk last year?
Well, look, I think if Jeff Stoutland had wanted to be an offensive if he had wanted to be an offensive coordinator, Jeff Stoutland could have been an offensive coordinator at any one of 7 or 8 SEC schools.
Sure.
When he was in the SEC, he was so well respected. He was higher paid in the SEC as an offensive line coach than offensive coordinators were at half of the schools in the SEC.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So that's all you need to know. If he wanted to be one, he would have been one.
Nobody's saying Patullo is a bad football mind or coach. Exactly. He might just be a bad, I believe that he is a bad offensive coordinator.
That's been proven.
All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor? 610-632-0975. Just tuning in. Are 2 questions that are Eagles. We're having a lot of fun with the Flyers game from last night. We were there.
That was awesome.
In attendance with some of our great listeners who won the contest or named that caroler.
Great people.
Great people. Jersey Jay had a great time yesterday. Sent us a nice photo of him and his wife. It was great. So we're having fun with the Flyers game from last night. But our Eagles questions, what does another playoff appearance mean for you? And what's your sort of heat check, your vibe check going into this weekend's game? Because I feel like we've not – and that's good. I've not heard many Eagles fans going, I'm worried about this one. So much talk about 2 seed versus 3 seed for the second home game guaranteed, not so much the matchup.
Right, exactly.
Which that's good. 610-632-0975. And then we'll get into this common theme for Niners losses momentarily. But what do we got on the text line, Connor?
Not everyone's feeling great. Jay from New Jersey checks in and says, everyone's overconfidence has me worried. I can see them losing to the Niners. Everyone's so confident that they're going to win. It's starting to smell like 2008 up in here, and the Niners are starting to look like the Cardinals.
Well, it's starting to feel like the Cardinals.
It's the NFC Championship game, round 1.
The Cardinals were a division champion, so that doesn't hold. I'm not buying that. So right there, I'm not buying.
Look,
it.
I'm not. So Jersey, Jay, sorry.
Cardinals were a home team.
I'm also not saying that like the Eagles are going to beat the doors off the Niners.
No, and I don't hear honestly.
There's no chest day. It's just I feel good about the game.
Have you heard overconfidence from
we had one caller, Matt and Delco, yesterday.
Yes.
Matt and Delco was like, anyone can come in here and get it. We had a texter that had a similar feeling.
Jeff
like
from D.C. said that.
Yeah, like anyone will come in here and lose.
Let's be honest. Jeff from D.C., and we love you, Jeff.
Yeah, we love you,
We
Jeff.
love you, Jeff.
I've never heard him say a negative thing about
Jeff from D.C. is getting up every morning, and he literally is ready to throw down if anybody thinks they're going to lose because he has just got that positivity. And by the way, many, many times he's right. Now, he doesn't bring it when he thinks a team sucks, so I'll give him that. You know, he when he feels like he has a team that's pretty good, he's going to be there for it. But I don't believe there's an overconfidence in this fan base about this game. I actually think there's more of a quiet apprehension.
Yeah, I don't think it's prevailing, but I have seen stuff on socials, belt to ass tour around 2 and stuff like that. Like there's some people that are feeling it.
Okay.
Not without last year's offense. By the way, belt to ass is that's great if you had last year's offense. You don't. Yeah, last year's offensive line too, we should say.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Defense got the belt this year. Let's go.
They had it last year.
They had it last year
too.
Yeah,
they did.
What else we got on the text line?
All right, we also have a check-in here from John V, who says, I feel oddly confident going into the Niners game, which is strange because our offense hasn't been consistent enough and KP hasn't shown the ability to scheme or play call, but our defense is elite and the Niners struggle against a good defense.
Listen to that.
Other than the giant wart, she's beautiful.
That girl.
That's what.
Except for the peg leg, I think she's really
How was
hot.
the play, Miss Link?
Exactly.
Do we have any Flyers texts? Because I'm curious, man. Like last night, that building was alive yesterday. It was electric. And I love that we had our caller, Sean, that said he could feel it through the TV. We played the clip from Timmy Saunders when Cutter Gauthier got onto the ice yesterday, and you could hear the boos coming through the radio broadcast. We felt it. My ears were ringing when I left that building yesterday. Anything on the Flyers?
Yeah, we do. This texter from Jersey checks in and says, on my way to fitness class, and I was hoping you would talk some Fly Boys after that exhilarating game. Thank you, 97.5.
Thank you, 97.5.
I love the post-game summary. It was the biggest Flyers game I can remember in a long time in the regular season. I'm glad you were able to help relive some of the key moments.
I believe that's the case, that it was I think it was the game of the year.
Yeah.
And I think that is a game that has a chance to be a launching off point for the locker room as far as a cohesive unit, bringing that team together, because that's the kind of game that just gets everybody a little fired up. As teammates,
yeah,
they had each other's backs.
Well, and especially the hit on Jamie Drysdale yesterday near center ice.
We're hoping he's all right.
Yeah, we got scared. They brought the stretcher out at one point. The building went quiet.
I'll be anxious
Unfortunately,
to hear.
he was able to get up and get off the ice. Look, again, the big game feel, yes, and it was real. And that's what I said about 30 minutes ago. I've watched Flyers games over the years where the Penguins are in town, the Rangers are in town, the Devils are in town. Let's fill up the building just to kind of boo and show our hatred for the opposing team and not necessarily show the support for our own team, right? It's kind of like when the Phillies were bad but the Mets were in town. You wanted to go just to boo the Mets because we hate the Mets. It's better when your team's good. And yesterday was not only boo Cutter Gauthier day, it was also support the Flyers, and you got a great game out of it.
I gave a Flyer fan, and I wrote down your name, so let me just make sure I get it right here. Dylan. It's not Dylan McKinnon. It's a Dillon. Dylan, I met yesterday, and Dylan and some of his friends yesterday down at the game. I would just say to Dylan, do not be a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Dylan and his friends are like, yeah, all the casuals are coming out of the woodwork now. That's the only thing that's bothering them. And I said, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be like, oh, now look, all the casuals are coming out.
Yeah,
I'm like, don't do that. Don't gatekeep. Don't gatekeep.
There was a guy yesterday. You probably didn't hear it. Connor and I were sitting next to each other, and there was a guy next to Connor that asked Connor, why are they constantly booing? So he had no idea.
So he knew about Cutter.
He had no idea about the storyline. And yet he was locked into this game, right? Anytime the Flyers scored, he was one of the first people out of his seat, chanting, let's go Flyers, come on, boys, like all this kind of stuff. Don't you want that?
Yes.
Like, don't you want more people that are at the party?
Don't act like ignorant soccer fans, who the soccer fans like, you guys don't talk soccer. You never talk soccer. And then anyone talks soccer, and it's like, oh, gosh, do you hear these guys talk soccer? They know nothing about soccer. Yeah. It's like, stop with the gatekeeping. Build a bigger tent. Don't act like it's a PhD to do it. And I promise you, like these people, like Bill Colarulo was getting grief yesterday.
And he's a huge Flyers fan.
Let me just tell you this. I've talked hockey with Bill Colarulo. I know hockey very well. Bill Colarulo knows hockey very well. And I see these people going, you obviously don't know hockey. Bill Colarulo could talk circles around the vast majority of people who are tweeting at him. He knows hockey.
But it's because he doesn't talk about it enough on the air. And
yeah, exactly.
He doesn't watch.
Yeah.
What you didn't hear is me telling that guy the reason they're booing is you see 61? That's Kevin Petula's nephew out there.
Yeah. That's good.
All right. Chase Sr.
Yes.
Who is an old buddy of mine. I went to Temple with Chase. You, of course, know Chase well because of his Temple ties as well. He does something. He does YouTube stuff for Chat Sports, which is a pretty big company, and he covers He talks about the Eagles and 49ers.
Eagles and 49ers,
which is
quite successful. He's got two of the biggest.
No, he does a great job, and you wonder like Eagles Niners. That's random, and I think it was after the rivalry sort of started, like the non-divisional rivalry.
It's unbelievable the amount of traction that it gets. I got to see Chase last week. Got to hang out with him in Westchester a little bit, and there's a commonality, and he was pointing it out in some of his content this week, that there's a commonality between the teams that the 49ers have lost to, and it is clear. Every single team that the 49ers have lost to, the Jaguars, the Buccaneers, the Rams, the Texans, and the Seahawks, they lost the same way. Their offensive line got manhandled. And the 49ers also lost in the trenches, too. Their D-line didn't get the job done much either. The lines of scrimmage were where they lost the game. So, Jags, Bucks, Rams, Texans, Seahawks. So, you got to get you right now. Linebackers and cornerbacks are going to be a big part of it with the Eagles already. We already know that that's been top notch.
Yeah.
We already know that the Eagles defense up front has been big. I think it just seems as you look who beats the 49ers and who disrupts their offense. And more importantly, you want to disrupt the Kyle Shanahan offense. He wants everything to go smoothly. He can draw up the most beautiful plays. Sure. But when you're blowing up their line, when Jordan Davis is getting through, when Jalen Carter's getting through, especially between the tackles, when they are disrupted between the tackles, their offense does not flow.
And you know what they want to do? They want to run the football with Christian McCaffrey, and they like to do things underneath, right? It's a lot of quick passes, and they'll take a shot downfield. We see it with Brock Purdy. But they're also, Ayuk doesn't play. Deebo Samuel's been gone, right? Like, Juwan Jennings is a nice receiver, but, like, we're talking about Juwan Jennings. That's a bit of a fall-off from some of those guys. They love to do stuff underneath. George Kittle getting him involved, Christian McCaffrey getting him involved in the passing game. And so if the Eagles' pass rush can get to the quarterback, that's going to make Brock Purdy uncomfortable. I did not realize Chase added this in that tweet that you just read off about the teams that the Niners have lost to and the commonality, which is the defensive line. Do you know that since week 8, the Eagles are giving up just 14.5 points per game?
Yeah, guess what?
Number one in the NFL.
Since your boyfriend came to town.
Yeah, Jalen Phillips, man.
Yeah, since you two became a couple.
Yeah.
Do you have a couple name, by the way?
No, he doesn't know that
we have to have a couple.
He doesn't know that I exist.
Well, we need to have a couple name made up for them because that's very important. Like Liv says, if you don't have the couple name, it doesn't it's not real.
Okay.
So you need to come up with.
I don't think he knows that I am real.
We need
I
a
don't
couple
think he knows
name.
that I exist.
We need a couple name for Salciunas and Phillips for we can work that out. I'm sure the YouTube audience is going to come up with
where
quite a few.
Where does my love affair with Jalen Phillips rank compared to Bob Cooney's Travis Konechny love affair that he used to have on the show?
I don't know. I mean,
that was heated.
I may have seen
that was heated rivalry.
I may have seen coffee dates.
Yeah. Okay.
I may have seen coffee dates. I may have seen long, anxious glances.
Okay.
Over the years, but hey, love you, Bobby.
TK yesterday, by the way, getting after it with Cutter too.
Here's what I got.
Such a stickler.
Here's what I got to say to TK though. Stop talking about it and do it. Stop talking about it and do it. Like, you're in that game. Do it. Like, don't just jibba jabba. Do
Yeah,
it.
I hear you.
Get after it. It would have meant that place would have the roof would have blown off the place last night.
Yeah, if he.
But I'm sure Rick Tocchet thought that the 2 points was more valuable, and it was such a close game. So
52 points already for the Flyers. Great. All right, more numbers for you for the Eagles. You sent me something about the Eagles betting numbers. So remember, yesterday, some of you may not have been listening at the time. I was doing a read for the FanDuel Sportsbook app because I endorse FanDuel. And the Eagles were 3-point favorites when the line started. The official line. It was
official line.
It was 2.5 last week when they did the expected lines for the expected matchups. Opened at 3, climbed to 4.5. I'm doing my read, and I'm going, let me check the line. I'm like, oh, 4.5. Don't like that. But I like the fact that Vegas is giving the Eagles their probably their proper respect going into this matchup with the 49ers. I would hesitate to drop money on that line just because the Eagles' offense has not been able to do that for me this year. But you have reasons why you think.
And Connor, take note of these because you're trying to catch Salciunas.
Okay.
The betting numbers are staggering. And I say staggering because of the amount of data that you've got working for you this weekend as far as the Eagles at home with Jalen Hurts as their quarterback. History is going to indicate to you that there's a reason that the line is moving in the Eagles' favor. The reason it is that when the Eagles are a home favorite below a touchdown, so 6.5 or below, Jalen Hurts is 17-4 against the spread.
Love that.
Do you know who's better than him in the NFL at quarterback as a starting quarterback against the spread? With that same stat? No quarterback active.
Love that.
None. Zero. Zilch. Now, look, the Eagles' defense comes into that too. So, I mean, it's a team stat. But Jalen Hurts is 17-4 against the spread as a home favorite when it's below a touchdown. Hurts is 3-1 against the spread as a home favorite below a touchdown in the postseason. So 75% with that number. That is why I believe the number is shifting. Now, I have a very wise friend in the gambling industry who has given me some of this stuff saying,
you're welcome.
He believes this is why. He said, I believe this is why. Because I said to him, this is a big shift. And he goes, I think this is why the number's moving. It's a staggering 20-5 if you combine postseason and regular season.
That's amazing.
And Jalen Hurts is by far the best quarterback in the NFL to bet at home, less than a touchdown favorite against the spread. Brock Purdy, really, really tough, scrappy quarterback.
Yeah. And we talked about his success in the playoffs yesterday. Right. He's gotten to an NFC championship game and gotten to a Super Bowl.
Now, you think of him, you think of scrappy underdog, right? Yeah. Brock Purdy is 0-4 as an underdog against the spread. 0-4. So when you just think of this matchup, I believe that's why you're seeing the betting public move towards the Eagles because the numbers are staggering with the two honestly most important players when you research a playoff game, the quarterbacks.
And that's why we talked yesterday a lot about you can't calculate the mental fortitude or mental toughness going to a playoff game.
And I'm not doubting Purdy, by the way. I'm not trying to trash Purdy with that.
No, because he's won big
I like
games.
him a lot. I really do. I like him a lot.
But it's like why we talked about Caleb Williams looked a little.
Caleb Phillips.
He looked a little. It's because he's on my mind.
Connor.
Caleb Williams looked a little spooked on Sunday, right? Big game. And
he did.
And that's been an issue of his. That was an issue of his in college. Whereas Jalen Hurts, it's like it doesn't matter. Week 1.
That sounds like a DNA thing.
Week 1 and round 1 are the same for him, right? Like his pulse. It's like Ranger Suarez, right? Opening day and game 5. Is the same thing. Like, it doesn't change. And that's something that you can't calculate. You just know it when you see it.
I heard Ricky Batalico yesterday on
Was he angry about the...
I didn't hear him be angry with us, but
you'll hear it.
But then I got told yesterday that he blocked us.
Yeah.
So I guess he's Ricky Block-Talico.
Yes.
So Ricky, though, made a great point. I'm going to give Ricky credit. Ricky made a great point yesterday.
He'll never give us credit, but go ahead.
He said, isn't it interesting that most of the time you want your quarterback to be more like Sirianni, and you want your head coach to be more like Hurts.
It actually is an amazing point.
It's a great point. And I heard it, and I went, you know what? In his simplicity of point, it's genius.
Yeah.
It's that and it may be why we have so much pushback with Nick Sirianni and so the inability at times to hug Jalen Hurts is because Jalen Hurts is like, stay the hell away from me.
Right.
That robotic everything. We want coaches to be more like Hurts. We want quarterbacks to be more like Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield and fired up and you want them to be more like Josh Allen.
Right.
Whereas Jalen Hurts is more casual and just robotic.
Goes with it.
And
they win.
And Ricky, as the ex-athlete, makes the point, maybe the problem is we expect our quarterback to act like our coach, and we expect our coach to act like our quarterback.
Well, we could tweet at him, but he has us blocked.
I would have said Ricky made a great point, but I'm not allowed to tweet at him.
Not anymore.
What did I do to make Ricky block me? That's what I want to know.
You'll find out later in the show.
What is this?
Is
this middle school?
Some Andrew Salciunas, Jalen Phillips, couple nicknames.
Okay, yeah, I got it. What are these?
Jalchunas from Aaron, Chillips from Dawood, Sal Phillips from Johnny Cheeseburger, the athlete and the dope. That's not nice to call Jalen Phillips a dope.
Yeah, I don't think
that was from
calling.
MBD.
I think
that is not nice to call Jalen Phillips a dope.
That one.
You're an idiot.
I knew people would have fun with this.
There was a major change in the NFL yesterday. A major change in the NFL. I mean, almost 2 decades long. You got to start to wonder, is this not great news for us here in Philadelphia? We'll tell you why. Coming up next, update you on all the coaching changes in the NFL. It is Kincade and Salciunas on this Adam Schefter Wednesday. Don't forget, he joins us now, new time at 8:05 here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Facing a high-powered offense, I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles are another day closer to doing just that as they prepare to host the 49ers in the wild-card round Sunday at 4:30 p.m. from Lincoln Financial Field. And the 12-win Niners, obviously, you can tell by the record, talented football team. They're going to bring challenges for the Birds. Vic Fangio and Kevin Patullo both met with the media yesterday and talked about that. Here's what Vic Fangio had to say about facing that Niners offense.
They have a really good scheme. It's all packaged together very nicely. Obviously, Purdy operates it very well. McCaffrey's an elite back. I mean, they had a run where they were hottest offense in the league for like 6-7 weeks in a row.
Now the Eagles have to hope that run has cooled off, but we'll get our first look at that on Sunday. And our first injury report of the week is today as we get to see how much rest in the starters in Week 18 paid off. Nick Sirianni meets with media at 11:50. Flyers, an impressive 5-2 win over the Ducks last night. Trevor Zegras 2 goals in a matchup against his former team. They're off tonight. Sixers are back on the floor hosting the Wizards. 7 p.m. tip-off. You can hear that game here on the Fanatic. Adam Schefter joins us coming up at 8:05. This update is brought to you by Corona. Join Andrew and Ricky Bowe this Sunday at 4:30 for the Birds playoff watch party at New Deck Tavern, the official 97.5 The Fanatic watch party location. $5 Corona Extra and $5 Modelo drafts, giveaways, and exclusive Go Birds tees. Sponsored by Corona, La Playa awaits. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
7 a.m. hours brought to you by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the BetParks app. Play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Crazy day in the NFL yesterday with a major firing. And it could be actually not so great for us here in Philadelphia. We'll get to that in a few minutes here. There's a built-in excuse for 49ers fans already.
There's an excuse.
If the Eagles were to win.
What happened?
Alan Eck will be the head referee for the Eagles-Niners game. He is a native Pennsylvanian and apparently was an Eagles fan as a child.
Okay.
When Eck refs Philly games, they have an 8-1 record. That includes an NFC Championship game. When San Francisco has been officiated by Alan Eck, the 49ers are 3-6. So there's a built-in excuse already for 49ers fans.
Give him the key to the city.
Yeah.
I love this guy already.
There was the shady one. What was the guy from Boston where his family was literally wearing Celtics gear?
I remember.
And then he did not return the next year. If you guys remember, it was a couple years ago. I think it was the year the Celtics won the championship.
There's a lot of shady.
It was his last year in the NBA.
There's a lot of shady stuff that goes on with officials. I gotta tell you.
Look, we can't always say everybody's shady, but it was weird that the family was all decked out in Celtics gear, and there was some weird calls.
Did anybody ever
never returned?
I mean, did you ever even think it was suspicious that, in any way, shape, or form, that the NBA, this worldwide juggernaut of sports, at one time, how many officials were involved from my alma mater?
Oh, it's crazy, yeah.
From one high school in suburban Philadelphia, in Delco? Like one school produces all of these officials for the entire thing?
The Eagles are a quarterback factory. And
O'Hara's
an NBA referee.
Look, O'Hara churns out a lot of great people. I mean, it's been known. But if you don't think that's slightly strange, I don't think you're paying attention.
All right. What do we got in the text line, Connor? And then we got to talk about what happened. By the way, Eric Lewis, thank you. I don't know if that was Shukri or if that was Austin Jones running YouTube today. Eric Lewis, he's with the G League. I got demoted. What do we got in the text line?
Joe, the cynic, checks in. So this may be a little tongue-in-cheek. And he says, I don't know what everyone's worried about with the Eagles. It's not like their offense ever struggled against a bad defense this year.
Yeah, no, look.
Joe, I get you.
That's why I'm telling you right now, I will not take the Eagles to cover against the 49ers. The Eagles' defense is that good. They will keep them in games.
Even after all the numbers I just gave you with Jalen Hurts, where there's no quarterback to bet at home favored by less than a touchdown, that is more of a sure thing than Jalen Hurts.
The Eagles don't deserve the respect of my hard-earned money.
Jalen Hurts does.
Yeah, but the Eagles don't.
But Jalen Hurts does. That's an Eagles stat.
Kevin Patullo doesn't.
Okay.
He is the offensive coordinator of that team. All right, so yesterday, major shakeup in the NFL. Not long after we got off the air, the Baltimore Ravens fired John Harbaugh. So Harbaugh, the latest firing in the NFL, we obviously knew Raheem Morris was the first one. That actually happened over the weekend. And then you had the Bloody Monday with Jonathan Gannon in Arizona.
And you'd already had the Titans. You'd already had the Giants.
Yep.
You'd already had those.
Kevin Stefanski with the Browns. Pete Carroll with the Raiders. As you mentioned, the Giants and Titans with Dable and Callahan were already fired during the season. And then a big one with John Harbaugh yesterday. 18 seasons, and it's amazing. Johnny and I were talking about it before the show. I still remember after the 2016 season for the Eagles, when there was a lot of debate about Doug Peterson and whether or not he was a one-and-done
And it was 7-9 that year. It wasn't like it was a terrible year.
No, it wasn't.
But they started 3-0.
It got ugly, and you wondered about the consistency of the offense. And there was a lot of reports that Harbaugh would potentially be removed of his duties from Baltimore. So there was legit talk here on the Fanatic about, should the Eagles fire Doug Peterson if John Harbaugh became available? And my answer was easy. It was a yes, because we didn't know Doug yet, right? The 1 year of Doug Peterson versus this successful head coach in John Harbaugh. That was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, and he never got fired until yesterday.
And now NFL Network has the details this morning if you haven't seen them.
No, I've not. What do we got?
John Harbaugh went the way of Doug Peterson.
Wanted to keep his guys.
Wanted to keep his staff together, and they were like, nope. You got to make staff changes. And he was like, no, I think it's good that we part ways.
Okay.
So he forced them to fire him.
So he's gone from Baltimore.
And I look after 18 years, I admire it. I want to keep my staff together, and you don't want me to, so
yeah,
I don't want to blame it. That tells me he was trying to point fingers at something else being the problem.
Could be. Now, the reason why we say this might not be the best news is there's a coaching vacancy in the NFC East right now with the New York Giants, and the Giants have a quarterback that there is reason to be excited about if you're a New York Giants fan with Jackson Dart. And now John Harbaugh is available, and I still think Stefanski's a good coach.
I do too, but I'm not going to lose sleep that Kevin Stefanski comes in the division if he does.
I would worry a little bit.
No, I think he's a good coach, but I'm not going to worry that Kevin Stefanski is this mastermind genius coming into the division.
But John Harbaugh, you would definitely worry.
Harbaugh, I'd worry about that he brings stability to a team that hasn't had stability.
Yeah,
Here's one thing. Here's one thing I'd also tell you to keep an eye on. I got some pretty good ears down in Washington, and I believe the Commanders, who yesterday fired the offensive coordinator, fired the defensive coordinator, got rid of both of them. I don't believe it's a stretch at all to think that they will also make a call and go, hey, John Harbaugh, would you want to come and coach Jaden Daniels? And then you don't have to leave the area where you've lived. And
rough business.
Would you want to come? Because we'll guess if you had the opportunity, it's very much like a Doug Peterson situation. If you had the opportunity to turn Jaden Daniels right now in your organization over to him over Dan Quinn, I think that the Commanders would do it too.
That's a rough business, man.
Yeah.
So what
if they made him fire his coordinators after year 2, and they were in the NFC title game 50 weeks ago?
Rough scenario would be Harbaugh does that to the Commanders and Stefanski goes to the Giants. That would change things.
It would change things.
And who knows who Schottenheimer is? I know they love him in Dallas, and we'll see who Schotty is. But now all of a sudden, there's chances.
I don't lose sleep over him.
No,
either.
I don't either.
But I still think he's an improvement over what they've had.
Yeah, absolutely.
I worry about him more than McCarthy.
Yeah, I hated McCarthy. I
think McCarthy could end up with the Giants. By the way,
I would.
There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk of
go.
You know
That'd
what?
Be
Though?
awesome.
I know you guys say that, and if you just look, he is one of the more successful coaches in the NFL in modern history.
Yeah, regular season, and the one Super Bowl that Aaron Rodgers won. It's good to have.
It's easy when you have like an all-time great quarterback.
That probably should have won more than one. Maybe they drafted some receivers.
So Aaron Rodgers won the Super Bowl. So the games that Aaron Rodgers crapped the bed in the playoffs, you don't blame Aaron Rodgers for that?
It was Mike McCarthy's fault.
That was Mike McCarthy's fault. Okay, so Aaron Rodgers doesn't crap his pants in the playoffs. That was Mike McCarthy doing that for him?
I think they win more with a better head coach.
I think if their quarterback played better in the postseason, they would have won a lot more.
Could be.
Aaron Rodgers has lost more big games at home than any big game quarterback that we ever hear about.
I think Mike
being
McCarthy's
talked about
an
an all-time great.
I think McCarthy's a dope.
Wow.
He wouldn't scare me one bit. I'd be happy about that move.
I would actually celebrate if he goes to the Giants. All right, what do we got on the text line? 610-632-0975.
Justin from Ambler checks in and says, on our conversation about how you're feeling about the Eagles' playoffs and if you're appreciating enough, I have a good friend from Boston, and I remember them almost being apathetic about the early playoff games when the Patriots were at their height of the dynasty. I get that mentality if Eagles fans are looking at Super Bowl as the only goal.
Well, no, you're not.
I don't
going,
think that's
you're not
where
going
fans
into
are,
the game. This game doesn't matter. Like, no, I don't think people are that way, right?
No, not after what I saw last Sunday. A meaningless Week 18 game not for the fan base, for the head coach, because the head coach didn't give a damn about it. But thankfully, the fan base still cared, and they were wild. The fan base wasn't apathetic about a game that the team actually punted on. So I believe that the fan base is anything but apathetic.
Well, that's kind of the sentiment that I voiced earlier on in our opening segment, and I don't know that I'm the only one feeling that way.
Are you so like what do you think you're going to be like Sunday at 4:30?
Oh, I'll be fired up for the game.
Okay,
but everything leading up to it, I don't know. A wild card game with a team you should beat. I don't think we're going to see anything that makes the Eagles look more viable for the postseason. I don't expect a 40-point game out of the offense.
Okay, you had a wild card game against a team you should beat last year. How did you feel last year?
I mean, last year that team was going to the bowl. So it's like, let's go. Anyone can get it. Belt to ass. Let's roll. This year, it's like, I know what this team is.
I don't feel like they're going to the bowl this year doesn't mean I'm not like, let's go. It's playoff time. Like, I'm ready to go. I have game day butterflies on Wednesday, which is not good for my personal life, for my sanity. It's going to be a long week.
It's very, very strange because it's almost like one of those bad Disney movies where they have the body swap.
Yeah, Freaky Friday.
I almost feel Freaky Friday. It almost feels like
Freakier Friday.
It almost feels like Connor and Andrew have switched bodies today on me. I expect if you had told me I was hearing this chatter.
People do say we sound alike.
If I was hearing this chatter, if you had said it to me, okay, this is what you're going to hear on Wednesday on your show, John, I would have said, Connor's saying that, and Andrew's saying that. And you guys are saying the opposite. And that's what's great about it. And that's why I'm glad we don't talk out the show before the show, because it's shocking me right now, hearing both of you.
I'm just excited for a football game, for playoffs.
It's big. It's a big deal.
3-0. I'll take it.
Oh, geez, stop.
610-632-0975. What does another playoff appearance mean for you? And what's your vibe check going into the playoffs? Because for the most part, it seems like everybody is confident, which is good. And not like they're going to win 40-0 confident. Just the fact that they're confident going into this game. I like that. And Flyers reaction. I want another text. Do we have a Flyers text ready and a Flyers highlight coming out of the gate next segment? All right? That and today's headlines with Connor Thomas. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Get a Bradford White water heater in your home now, especially if your water heater has been in your house and you don't even know how long it's been there. Because if it's been there like 10-some years, you're just waiting for it to explode, to rust out. And you're probably looking at your heating bills and you're saying, wow, why do I pay so much in my heating bills? Well, probably because you have an inefficient water heater contributing to that. Hey, how you heat your water matters. I tell you that all the time. And Bradford White understands that better than anybody. And they have the new tankless models, which are just awesome. And they're Aerotherm hybrid heat pump models that save you cash and are so efficient. And they actually give you all the hot water you need on demand whenever you have it. Now, to me, you want the 25, 50, 75-gallon Mac Daddies for your home or your business, the traditional models. You can get them, too. It's going to help your family stay comfortable and content, all the hot water you ever need. Now, you know we're going to get more winter weather, too. You do not want to be without hot water during the winter weather. So you want top performance year after year, a company that's local, that understands what you Philly people demand? Well, that is Bradford White. And plumbing professionals in the area, they know about Bradford Whites. So go to BradfordWhite.com, learn more about which model's perfect for you. Find the plumbing professional that brings it to you, installs it for peak efficiency, and then you'll learn what I've always been telling you. How you heat your water matters. Choose Bradford White.
More of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way now.
Here comes Anaheim in at the attack, and Gauthier with a shot. Oh, he hit the goal post, and it was in behind Vladar and somehow stays out. Gauthier almost had his second of the game, too, but it stays out, and Vladar got a little help from his buddy next to him.
I love that Vladar, man. Darth Vladar.
He is awesome.
He's been so good.
He's been amazing. And by the way, he got panned. It got panned completely by the NHL media and by a lot of our local Flyers media for bringing him in. I will say, if you just go back and read, that he was, a plug gap. He was ranked 29th out of 30th of free agent signings in one thing of NHL writing.
Could you blame anyone?
Yes, 29th out of 30th I could. I thought it was extreme.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think it was like, I did not see this coming. So I'm not acting like
one of the bigger surprises of the season.
But it was getting panned overwhelmingly by people.
Yeah.
Boy, he's been great, and it's been fun.
What do we got on the text line, Connor? I want to hear a Flyers text from somebody.
Gina from Southwest Florida says, as an 80s Tocchet Zezel Flyers fan, I'm loving this new era. Time to pull out the sweater again.
I like that.
By the way, I have a theory about the sweater that I'm going to get into later in the show.
I heard that.
I
like this.
I told Connor what my theory was yesterday, and you actually think I'm kind of spot on, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. We talked about sweaters yesterday on post-show headlines, which you can check out on YouTube.
Yes, you can.
Because he was wearing his Lindros
yesterday.
I was.
I did find a Carter jersey, by the way, in the closet.
So you did. So you have another one.
I do have another one.
Okay.
All right. Time now for today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
It's brought to us by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. So if you need them, like maybe you played against the Ducks in that dirty team last night, remember the name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. So we're going to start off, of course, I know nobody wants to go back and relive that Sixers-Nuggets game, but did you guys see the way that a certain Nuggets player celebrated the victory over the Sixers?
I did not.
I did not.
By the way, I bleached that entire memory
What happened?
out of my brain.
So Spencer Jones, this is how you know you lost to a group of guys that you should not have lost to. He didn't go out. He didn't go celebrating with drinks. He went to LinkedIn. He put together a LinkedIn post. Spencer Keith Jones on LinkedIn. Some games you'll remember for the rest of your life. On paper, this one didn't make sense. And then a long paragraph about how shorthanded the Nuggets were and on the road and everything. You can't be having dudes go on LinkedIn and putting up a post about how they just beat your basketball team.
Does he believe he's going to be looking for a job soon?
He might, but I don't know if NBA scouts are checking LinkedIn to find their next guys.
I have to tell my daughter all the time that, LinkedIn is a valuable tool. I tell my students all the time. School starts next week. Valuable tool. Yeah. Because a lot of the people think, LinkedIn's not important. Yeah,
he's in his second year. He started 20 games so far this season for the Nuggets.
So he's thinking...
He's a 6-point per game guy.
So he's thinking, I might need a job.
No, I think he'll be in the NBA.
It's just a weird place to be posting.
No, it's definitely a weird... Maybe
as Connor's pointing out.
Or maybe we celebrate. Maybe he doesn't have Twitter or Instagram and stays off that stuff. Because there are a lot of players that
You're
can't.
still on social media. That's still
LinkedIn's
social media.
different.
LinkedIn is still social media.
What else we got?
All right, so we also have a check-in down in Jacksonville. We've been talking ahead of the NFL postseason about the heat check or vibe check or whatever you want to say. Well, it seems like the vibes are pretty high in Jacksonville. And Trevor Lawrence got a big-time step in his career as Jaguars quarterback. After their final game of the regular season, he was gifted with something very special by his teammates. Trev finally got a grill.
I got something to say, Trevor, because it's fun. We appreciate you so much for everything you do. I just want you to know all of Jacksonville behind you. We know it's a meme that's kind of going viral, so we got your own video.
The locker room goes nuts for about a minute as he gets a legit grill, pops in the teeth over his own, and ready to rock.
Did you see the other Trevor Lawrence video?
Oh, yeah. You should not be having your franchise quarterback getting squatted by a random person at a bar.
This is insane. So, John, did you see the squatting?
I did not, but I heard there's some outrage going on about it.
Yeah, so a random fan, she wanted to squat Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence said, bet, let's do it. Yo, dude, God forbid something happens. And it could be, I'm not saying catastrophic injury, but she drops you and you go to brace your fall with your throwing hand.
Correct.
And you crack a bone in your wrist. Like, I get it, guys. People just want to have a good time. But there's some times where you go,
no, don't do that.
It's like when Joel Embiid, oh, come on, he's having a good time. When he was out barefoot during the Meek Mill concert. Like, no, this guy's got chronic knee injuries, bone spurs, all kinds of crap. And we got to say, oh, let him live? Like, no.
Not let him live. By the way, cousin Matt, who's been residing down in Florida and working, bought tickets to the Jags game.
Okay.
Because he's living near there to go see a Jags playoff game. It's right before the Eagles playoff game. And he's like, do I go to the game? And I'm like, no. Because you'll miss some of the
What
Eagle
time's the
game.
Jags game?
Right before the Eagle game.
All right, so if you can't sell them, you go
no,
for the...
No, you sell them. You
no,
do
if
not
you
go
can't,
to,
like if nobody buys them.
No, you can't. Oh, no, you can't.
People will buy them.
People buy
So
them.
sell them, and if
Sell
not, go for the first half and then leave at halftime and get back.
Get out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they play in a stadium with a damn pool there in Jacksonville, Florida. I kind of like the quarterback of the Jaguars doing crazy stuff, getting a grill, getting squatted by random fans.
Get out of your mind.
Have your fun, Trav. We'll see how deep they go this year.
Nuts if that was happening.
We'll also wrap up with something from last night's game. It was not on the ice, but the Anaheim Ducks did not have a bad night just in play. They had a bad night on social media. Did you see what they did with their Instagram account?
They blocked responses, right?
They had to shut down the comments because they were getting so much hate from Flyers fans, rightfully so, after a couple of dirty plays and obviously the Cutter Gauthier thing.
So they locked down their responses?
No comments.
Weak.
Oh, that really
Soft.
is weak. That's totally weak.
And I get it. Anaheim, maybe you're not a great sports town. I totally understand.
Now,
You're not
wait a
used
minute,
to
though.
this.
It might have been due to profanity and stuff.
Probably.
Sure.
Well, then that's not weak. If it's people going on there and being
I bet you there's
profane.
profanity after every loss.
Yeah.
From their own fan base and from opposing fan bases. Unfortunately, that's how social media has become. You know what was vile? I don't get why we do this. Let's find the person on social media. The stuff that was said to the Ravens kicker.
Yeah, that's terrible.
After
it was
missing
bad.
the field goal. His last post, because he's not active on social media, was his engagement photo.
Right.
He proposed to his girlfriend. And the horrible things people were saying to him afterward. I don't get that.
No,
And
you do. You do, because you know who's saying it? It's not Andrew Salciunas.
No,
it's not Connor
yeah,
Thomas. It's the nerd who couldn't get lucky in a women's prison with a fistful of pardons, who never even sees a woman naked. He's sending those nasty things. It's the miserable people who have nothing going on in their lives.
And somebody will tell us to
Who are doing
lighten
that.
up on it. And it's like,
no, it's not. You're despicable human beings. You got nothing going on
Poor
in your
guy's
life.
crying walking off the field, and then he has to open up his Instagram account.
I got my fake account and I got my real account that I hide, and then my fake account that I tweet these nasty things to people because I'm a loser.
All right, coming up next, Adam Schefter. New time because of the new clock changes. 8:05 on Wednesdays moving forward. We speak to Shefty about the Eagles, the decision to rest the starters, the upcoming playoffs, and the coaching changes in the NFL here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Dealing with the Niners defense, I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles are another day closer to hosting the San Francisco 49ers in the wild card round at the Link Sunday, 4:30 p.m. And the 12-win Niners, that record will tell you, they're a darn talented football team. They're going to bring their challenges for the Birds, and Kevin Patullo's side of the ball has seen their fair share of challenges this year. Here's what he had to say yesterday, meeting with media about that Niners defense.
Do a good job. They're really, really well coached. Coach Saleh does a good job. He's done a good job for a long time. They fly around with the ball. They're very physical. I mean, they play extremely hard. They're disciplined. So it's going to be a good test.
We'll get our first injury report of the week today as we get to see who's going to be likely available for Eagles-Niners. We'll talk to Adam Schefter coming up next, see if we can get any insight on that and the coaching carousel in the NFL. Nick Sirianni meets with the media today at 11:50. Flyers had a nice win over the Ducks last night, 5-2 final. Trevor Zegras scored 2 in the first period against his former team. They're off tonight. Sixers back on the floor hosting the Wizards, a 7 p.m. tip-off. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's once-a-year sale and clearance is here. Their sleep experts will help find your dream bed from a quality selection. They make sleep easy. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
O'Connor, Kincade Salciunas. Philly Sports Talk, 97.5 The Fanatic.
All right, homework assignment for all of you, because I kind of want to have some texts ready on this when we do this around 8:30. So about a half hour ago, we told you about all the coaching changes that are going on in the NFL. John Harbaugh obviously being the biggest one yesterday. We know that Stefanski, pretty big name, gets fired by Cleveland. Pete Carroll, we'll see if he even wants to keep on coaching. He's 74
I don't think he's
old.
coaching again.
No, I don't think so either. He's probably going to be an advisor for some team, unless he just wants to
or TV
sit at home or TV. Yeah, he'd be good at that too. Johnny and I were talking about this yesterday. You know how during the summer there's the top 10 quarterbacks and this and that. What if you redrafted the teams? Every network does it.
All
if you
the lists.
redrafted the teams, where would you be? You know what we never do? What if there was a head coaching draft? Of active and obviously available now coaches in the NFL. If there was a draft for coaches, where would Nick Sirianni get picked?
How many would go before him?
And some of it is unfair. I was listening to Unfiltered yesterday, and there were people once again mocking Nick Sirianni on the air.
About what?
And just, there's people that just don't like him. And Bill's like, I don't know what more you want him to do. Andrew DeCecco was on for his 2 hours with Unfiltered yesterday.
How about fix the offense this year?
Well, yeah.
But I hear people say that. All he does is win. No, but fix the freaking offense.
Yeah, but people didn't like him.
That's what people want him to do.
People weren't in love with him a week after winning the Super Bowl.
No, but I got to say, this has been a crappy season. His offense is stunk. They shouldn't be a 3 seed. They shouldn't be 11-6.
Nick Sirianni has never gotten the full amount of love in this city. And look, I'm part of the problem. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I'm part of that problem. But I wonder, if we redrafted coaches, is Sirianni in the top 5?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
And yet he's been one of the most successful coaches in the NFL over the last 5 years.
Do you count their staffs with them? Or do you just count the head coach as a single entity that you're hiring, and then they have to then
it's the head coach.
Just the head coach.
Yeah.
There's no way he's in the top 5.
Right, and that's why when lists come out before the season starts, top coaches in the NFL, and he's behind guys like Shanahan and McVay, it's because Shanahan and McVay, that if the offense is struggling, you can point to one person.
They can
because
build
they're the ones that do it. Right.
Right.
So start texting that in. We're not asking you to, do every single name. Where would he come in? Do the exercise with yourself at home. Go ahead, write it down, and then text in. You have Nick Sirianni being drafted when? If there was a redraft of NFL coaches. We'll get to that coming up around 8:30.
We have to do the coaches that were active this year then. We can't, because then you can't go to guys that didn't coach this year. We got to keep it to something.
Yeah, could Belichick come back to the NFL?
No. NFL coaches that were this year's head coaches.
Yes.
Yeah, even though some of them have been fired already, they were head coaches in the NFL.
Because you may want a guy who was coached this year. That's been fired.
So you can text those in at 610-632-0975. Adam Schefter going to be joining us coming up in a few minutes to talk about the crazy coaching carousel in the NFL. It really is amazing. I saw a tweet yesterday of the Tyler Loop missed field goal for the Ravens, and it was to the left of the goalpost, John Harbaugh fired. To the right of the goalpost, John Harbaugh fired. In between the goalposts, Mike Tomlin fired.
That's a great graphic.
Love that.
If that kick goes in,
graphic.
Are we talking about Mike Tomlin being fired this morning as opposed to John Harbaugh? What do we got on the text line before we speak to Shefty? Eagles topics. Our question for you today: what does it mean to you that the Eagles are back in another playoff? Regardless of how you felt about this team, regardless of how far you think they can go, what does it mean that you get to say Eagles are in the playoffs again this season? And also, where's your vibe check when it comes to the Eagles going into this playoff game? Because it seems like majority of people feel good. I have not heard many people feel bad about this game against the Niners. What do we got?
No name on this text, but they say, once again, the Eagles have been shined down on when it comes to being healthy for the playoffs. My thinking is the Eagles should steamroll in this playoff push because these other teams are either brutally flawed or have major injuries. If they don't, it's a massive failure.
We've gotten a couple of those texts. We had Matt and Delco the other day call in. I don't see that at all. steamroll. Like, to me, steamroll, let's say they get to the Super Bowl, right? Steamrolling is not just winning. Steamrolling is dominance. Like, the Eagles steamrolled the Commanders last year. The Eagles steamrolled the Chiefs last year.
Correct.
Right, like, I know I'm saying I'd be happy winning 3-0 against the Niners on Sunday, but I wouldn't call that a steamrolling. I'd say the defense steamrolled the 49ers, but you can't say that about the offense. That's amazing that there are people that feel that confident that they would steamroll their way to the Super Bowl.
That to me is just that's a bridge too far.
But
that is a bridge too far.
More power to you. What else we got?
We also have a check-in here as we're waiting Adam Schefter to join us. Dave G., the great Wawa man, checks in, says, I side with John on the Birds. Disappointed to get the 3 seed. Got to take care of business one game at a time. But I do feel like the NFC is wide open and any team can get to the Super Bowl.
Yes, that any team could get to. Like, this is the first time in a long time, except maybe Panthers, Steelers. I think 12 teams could make the Super Bowl this year. Like, it's possible. Even though I have my 0% chance for the Eagles. Like, look, there's a path. Every team in the playoffs right now, who is the team where you go, they're not going to make
Carolina has no path.
That's what I said, other than the Panthers and Steelers.
They have no path. I don't believe the Packers have any path.
With all the injuries. Okay.
They have no path.
That's fair enough. All right, joining us now on the Comcast Business Hotline. Every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next. And, of course, with the change of the clocks, instead of 7:55 every Wednesday, today we begin 8:05 every Wednesday. From ESPN, the great Adam Schefter joins us. Shefty, good morning.
Good morning. You know, you bounced me around. I do want to let you know that my rate is higher at 8:05 than it is at 7:55, but that's okay.
That is good.
Yeah,
though.
the 7 o'clock rate is the happy hour, where we get a little bit of a discount.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't worry. We'll let Scott know that you cost more now that you're joining us at 8:05. Shefty, last week when you were on with me, Johnny was off. You were fully expecting the Eagles to rest their starters, and then literally later that day, I think 2 hours after we spoke, it came out that the Eagles were going to rest their starters. Curious, in conversations around the league, people that cover the league, people inside the league, what did people make of the decision for the Eagles to rest the starters with the 2 seed up for grabs, and then, of course, the doomsday scenario playing out, where if they played their starters, they're probably the 2 seed?
Yeah, I mean, look, Nick Sirianni made the decision to prioritize the rest for his guys, and he knows his team better than anybody. So I understand that. But what I don't like is if we just go back to last year, the 2 seed would have been very valuable. Detroit lost in round 1. And Philadelphia wound up hosting the NFC Championship game last year because the 1 seed was out. So, you know, you want to rest your guys, and I understand that. It's important. I think, and it's very easy to say this hindsight, if it's me, I'm going to put my guys out there. I'm going to get a feel of the day. I'm going to see what's going on in Detroit and Chicago. I'm going to see what's going on with my team. Maybe my team can get us a 14-0 lead, and I start to pull guys one by one. Again, very easy to say this hindsight. But I want the higher seed in the event that Seattle loses in week 1.
I think you're being too kind with the whole hindsight thing because every single team in the NFL that had a chance to improve their stead on Sunday did exactly what you just said, except the Eagles. They were the only one that was smarter than the room. The only one that said, yeah, we're just going to punt on it. And I think it's arrogant, Adam, that especially when in the past I can point to numerous conversations where the head coach, the general manager have talked about playing at home in January and how valuable it has been to the Eagles in their path to getting to the Super Bowl.
I'll say this, John. I remember covering the Denver Broncos in the 90s, and there was so much that they taught me and I learned from them. And there was a year, maybe it was the Jacksonville year in 1996, when the Broncos were dominant and they rested their starters the last week or two, and they came out and they lost to Jacksonville in round 1. My stance reversed after that. Like, there were then 16 Sundays. There are 17 Sundays. Everybody's got 17 Sundays. It is a physically demanding, exhausting, grueling game. I got it. Everybody plays the same. You play the games. You want to pull certain guys at certain times? Fine. But to rest, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't believe in it. I think you lose. Not that the Eagles' offense has been rolling along anyway. It hasn't. But I think you lose some of that mojo.
And you're
building up.
And
now,
you've lost the you've lost the least amount of games by starting players in the entire NFL all year long. So you are, in one metric, the healthiest of all NFL teams.
And but now let me say this also. The flip side is, let's be fair, if all of a sudden he's putting those guys out there and Saquon Barkley goes down, you're going to be like sick that you had these guys out there. But you know what? I feel that way in a preseason game. In a regular season game, it's very unfortunate and disappointing. But again, there's 17 of these Sundays, and I don't subscribe to like rest for the guys. I just think it sends a bad message to the team. It felt like they treated that. It felt like a preseason game, is what it felt. And it's the last game of the season. There's seeding on the line, and it felt like they were treating it like a preseason game to me.
Adam Schefter here joining us on the Comcast Business Hotline. Well, now that we know that they are playing the San Francisco 49ers and they are the 3 seed, I would like to know, will Lane Johnson be playing for the Eagles this Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers? And what's the latest that you've heard about Nakobe Dean?
Well, I don't know Nakobe Dean specifically. I'll just say this. Lane Johnson, I expected to play 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And when they didn't win the division, and when they won the division, I think they were able to just get him 2 weeks of rest. So without speaking to a single person this week about it, I'm going to tell you right now, I would be floored if Lane Johnson didn't play on Sunday. Like, he's going to be out there. Okay? Let me tell you right now, he's going to be out there playing. Nakobe Dean, I don't know. Haven't checked. Don't have a specific answer. Don't have any specific knowledge. But Lane Johnson, they were preparing him to be out there 2 weeks ago. They won the division. They felt like they bought him extra time. They'll play.
The Vic Fangio slipped a little bit yesterday from the talking points, and he said that Nakobe will be playing. So, I think Vic.
I trust Vic.
Yeah,
I trust Vic about the defensive guy more than me.
Yeah, you know that. When you look at the matchup with the 49ers, could it be that the Eagles, though, end up with a less dangerous opponent in your mind with the 49ers coming to town instead of potentially playing the Packers?
I don't think it matters one way or the other, San Francisco or Green Bay. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. They're both good but flawed and injured teams. Both good. Like, they each have certain things that would make you nervous, and they each have certain weaknesses that make you feel better. To me, again, resting guys and trying to select an opponent, that's a futile exercise. I don't see any advantage in that. But the 2 seed, that like if Seattle loses that first week, and I don't think they will, but if they do, oh boy, you're going to feel bad that you didn't have that 1 seed if you're still alive, or that 2 seed.
Yep.
So we'll see how it plays out. But the opponent, Green Bay, San Francisco, that to me is secondary. Like, bring on whoever. Here's the deal. Let me break it down for you very simply, whether it was the Niners or the Eagles. If the Eagles go play their A game, they're going to beat either team, period. Okay?
All right.
That's it.
I like that. Like that confidence out of Shefty. All right, before we talk about the aftermath, curious, was it just as simple as a missed field goal that John Harbaugh is no longer the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens and Mike Tomlin still is the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Absolutely not. It just expedited the timing of his departure, and it made it perhaps a bit simpler in the end. But on Sunday morning, on Sunday Countdown, when we did our annual breakdown of where the coaches were, the thing that I tried to emphasize during our segment was everybody's been talking about Mike Tomlin, and the coach that they need to focus on, in fact, is John Harbaugh. His future is up in the air. Those were essentially the exact words I said on Sunday morning. So if that was the case on Sunday morning, all Sunday night did was start the clock on the conversations that were going to occur between the Ravens owner Steve Bisciotti and John Harbaugh. And obviously they culminated yesterday afternoon with the Ravens firing him.
How much do you believe this coaching cycle could affect us as Eagle fans with openings in New York, obviously, that we're going to be dealing with and seeing who they come up with as their new coach? And do you think that this is really going to potentially change the balance of power if they end up with a really good coach that steps in there? And is there any chance after the two firings of coordinators yesterday that Dan Quinn could be on shaky ground if now that John Harbaugh is available?
No, I don't see that. You know, you're not the first person to ask me that. I think it's a situation where, actually, the second person today, somebody else texted me this morning, like, am I crazy to think Washington can make a change with Dan Quinn? And I said, yeah, I think you are crazy to think that Washington will make that change. I don't anticipate Washington making that change for Dan Quinn. So, look, here's the deal. John Harbaugh's agent called me 45 minutes after John was fired yesterday, and he said, I'm just telling you right now, and it's okay to report it, 7 teams in 45 minutes have called so far. 7 in 45.
And there were 6 openings, right? Other than the Ravens.
Seven including the Ravens. So do the math, and I will say this. It wasn't just one team. I know this. It wasn't just one team with a current acting, sitting head coach.
Oh, wow.
That called. It was not just one.
Wow. About that. All right. Well, that's some good insight there, Shefty. Listen, man, we appreciate you moving your calendar. We'll make sure that you get paid properly with the new 8 o'clock hour hits.
Like you take the train at certain times. It's off peak and peak. 8 is peak.
Yeah, look, happy hour ends at 8 o'clock, and so you're going to cost more. And we'll make sure the powers that be take care of you, Shefty. I promise.
Thanks, Adam. We appreciate you, buddy.
Yep. All right, guys. Have
See
a
you
great
next
day.
week.
There is Adam Schefter on the Comcast Business Hotline.
Now, someone else was texting about the Dan Quinn thing.
Yeah, how about that?
I had a really good source say that to me, and that's why I had said it earlier today to the audience. And now I'm glad to see that Adam has the same people
reaching
saying
out
it to him. Okay, let's do the math there. He doesn't think it's Dan Quinn. So if 2 active teams that have coaches, Miami's one of them.
Miami has to be.
Miami
I
has
don't
to be
know
one
how
of them.
he hasn't been fired
Because
yet.
Troy Aikman is the guy that's helping them in their thing. So Miami, Mike McDaniel has to be one of them.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Who's the other coach? If it's not Washington, and I'm shocked that it's not Washington.
Maybe the Jets, Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn has to be.
That was my thought.
Look, you're getting the number 2 pick in the draft. You want to come to New York, and especially if the Jets are going, wait a minute, the Giants are going to end up with him potentially. We got the number 2 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
We could, but I think the Giants situation is so much better than the Jets. I don't care if it's 5th pick in the draft, 2nd pick in the draft. You got Jackson Dart, who you could potentially work with. I'm not sure that I'm penciling him in as a franchise-winning quarterback forever, but you got a defensive line that looks good. You have a running back and a wide receiver that look good. I'd feel good about that Giants situation if I was John Harbaugh.
I mean, I could see Tampa too, even though they
even fired. Yeah, they could. I guess they could call
like Tampa. Hell, like unless they're so in love with Dave Canales, like they finished 8 and 9.
Oh, I don't know. Carolina's not getting. They love him.
Yeah, dude, do you think a team currently in the playoffs is making a call this week?
Dave Canales versus John Harbaugh?
Dave Canales.
They might not be in the playoffs much longer.
No, he's honestly though, Tepper. They love Dave Canales.
And then Indy's an interesting one because Shane Steichen, they were on fire. They were 7-1 at one point.
Yeah, but you can't.
He's not going it. No way.
He lost Daniel
remember,
Jones.
Coming into the season, he was on the hot seat.
And then he
I don't
turned
believe
Daniel Jones into
I don't believe he
and
was.
They lost 7 straight games.
Yeah,
when
but
Daniel
what is
Jones
he
got
supposed
hurt.
to do?
Yeah, no shot.
They were the number 1 seed in the AFC when he lost his quarterback. You can't be getting rid of him.
I'm never
Shane
working
Steichen,
for you.
I don't think Shane Steichen's in any kind of danger.
Better watch
My
yourself.
job will be on fire the second I step into that role.
No, I'm just saying, in the mafia, if you start losing, you're out.
You misfire on one commercial, he may run you out.
I heard Ricky Patalica say that yesterday.
Oh.
We'll address it around 8:47 this morning. Ricky Vitalico taking shots at us when we took no shots at him.
And by the way, I understand that I didn't realize it until someone goes, Ricky blocked you.
Yeah,
I said, Ricky didn't block
media,
me.
man.
And then I realized Ricky blocked. What for?
Dark day here at 97.
Ricky blocked Talico?
That's a you guys thing. I'm still unblocked. Yeah. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate
Don't keep talking. He may block you, too.
I never said nothing.
What is this? What's this, like Mean Girls?
Unproblematic.
What is this?
All right, give me a text message, Connor, at 610-632-0975. And I want people to start texting in where you think Nick Sirianni would be drafted if there was a coach draft.
So we have a bunch of those already, so we'll get to those when we get to that.
Okay.
Mike from Phoenixville checks in, says, we've seen the two sides of the Eagles, so I think there are two scenarios Sunday. Eagles come out hot in the first half and get a nice little lead, like 17-0, and then try and hang on to it till the end of the game, or they come out flat, look lost, and are brutally predictable on offense, and we've seen how that's gone this year.
I think it's going to be a nail-biter for 4 quarters.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, dude.
What, you think it's going to be an easy game?
Now,
What's the offense done to make you feel that way?
Wait a minute. You just made like a giant gap. There is gap between easy game and nail biter. There's a giant gap between the two.
4-quarter nail biter, man.
Wow.
Yeah, be ready.
I do not bite.
Have your whoobies ready. Hold on to them tight.
Uh-oh.
All right, coming up next, everyone always wants to redraft players. What about coaches? Where would Nick Sirianni get picked? And this isn't like he stinks. I'm just curious. I'm curious. I wonder where Nick Sirianni would get drafted if there was a redraft of NFL head coaches. We'll see what the Eagles fans are thinking. We'll do the exercise next as well. It's Kincade and Salciunas on this Wednesday morning, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Got to tell you that when something feels off, don't brush it aside. Let the doctor know. Go to the doctor, get test results, and then make sure if a cancer diagnosis ever came into your life, let the consultants in medical oncology and hematology help you out. Dr. John Sprandio Jr. was the quarterback of my care, and he had a great offensive coordinator, a great defensive coordinator, and a great staff behind him that helped me come up with a plan to be able to save my life. And when I say it, I'm not being flippant. The Mainline Cancer Center in Newtown Square, their newest one, is where I go. I went there yesterday, got my blood pulled. In fact, my blood results just came up in my email. Plus, tomorrow I'll go get my big scan right next door. It's so convenient. You literally can just pull up front if you were going through treatment right now. Get right off. Someone drops you off at the front door. You walk in, main level, go get your testing done. It's absolutely awesome. CMOH works with hospitals across the tri-state area to give you seamless care. So if you have had abnormal test results or unexplained symptoms, or a cancer diagnosis is truly in your life, make sure this is one of the doctors you speak to. The consultants in medical oncology and hematology. They coordinate your care. They're an independent practice. And more importantly, they're going to give you a level of personalization that you might not find from many practices around the area. Visit CMOH.org. I cannot give you a higher recommendation. They saved my life. They gave me my life back. Take the first step towards getting peace of mind for yourself with CMOH.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Vic getting the defense ready. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles are another day closer to hosting the San Francisco 49ers in the wild card round Sunday, 4:30 p.m. from the Link. And the 12-win Niners are a talented football team. They're going to bring challenges for the Birds on both sides of the ball. And Vic Fangio and Kevin Petullo both talked about that yesterday. For Vic, it's a look at that high-powered 49ers offense.
You know, they have a really good scheme. It's all packaged together very nicely. Obviously, Purdy operates it very well. McCaffrey's an elite back. I mean, they had a run where they were hottest offense in the league for like 6-7 weeks in a row.
Injuries have been part of the equation for the 49ers, though. We'll get our first injury report of the week for both teams today as we get to see who will potentially be available for the wild card matchup. Nick Sirianni meets with the media today at 11:50, so we'll hear from the head coach as well. Flyers, we heard from them last night in a big way. They took down the Ducks 5-2. Trevor Zegras scored 2 in the first period against his former team. They're off tonight. Sixers are back on the floor tonight hosting the Wizards, a 7 p.m. tip-off, and you can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic, trying to bounce back from that rough loss to Denver. This update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's once-a-year sale and clearance is here. Their sleep experts will help find your dream bed from a quality selection. They make sleep easy. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The Fanatic.
It is 8:31 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. If you're just tuning in, we've been talking about it all show long. Your vibe going into this upcoming playoff game with the Eagles-Niners, because we have not really heard anybody worried about the Niners, which is good. We've heard fans say steamroll and steamroll their way through the playoffs to another Super Bowl. I would like what you're drinking or smoking, more so smoking, because I'm doing dry January. So I'm curious what it is that you're smoking to have those warm and fuzzy feelings.
Well,
must be a different strain.
Adam Schefter doesn't drink, smoke, or otherwise, and I was floored. I wrote down in my notes from Adam Schefter, that's the most.
Oh, he was very confident Eagles win Sunday.
Like, he didn't even seem in the least concerned that the Eagles have any worry that they're winning this game on Sunday.
He was basically Happy Gilmore, gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a bleep. It was Niners, Packers. It didn't matter.
It didn't matter who was coming in. The Eagles are winning that game. I did not expect that from today has been a day of, I didn't expect you sitting across from me. I don't know who this Connor Thomas is, and I have no idea. Adam Schefter has just confused me to hell.
Yeah. Well, we're wondering what your heat check, your vibe check is going into this Eagles-Niners game, into the Eagles playoffs. And again, our first topic that we started all off with was, hey, the Eagles are in the playoffs.
Correct.
Regardless of how much this season has been a roller coaster, drama with players, offensive coordinators stinking, the weird stretch where people blamed everything on Jalen Hurts, which I still don't really understand. He has not been good or great this year. I've said that numerous times, but never did I think Tanner McKee should have taken over.
Other than the L.A. game, there's been no reason to be Jalen Hurts has been atrocious.
Absolutely
that's
not.
ridiculous.
So I'm curious, what does it mean to you? How does it feel that we're about to go into another playoff with the Eagles? And John can speak to it better. There was a time where you didn't expect them to get to the playoffs.
No.
Connor and I are of the era where it's like, yeah, this is the norm. This is normal. But that does not mean that I've grown accustomed to it where I don't get excited. Like I've told you, I have game day butterflies and it's Wednesday morning.
Like, if I think about it this way, is my dad died 81, because I remember there was a playoff game. It was the year after they had been at the Super Bowl. So it was the season after they were in the Super Bowl. So it was Dick Vermeil. So 81. They made the postseason. They played in a game. They did not. So I'm still at O'Hara. I went through all of Temple without them being in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know what that is.
And I went through a couple years of being in the working world without them being in the playoffs.
Yeah. That was me with the Phillies and Sixers in high school, college.
And then all of a sudden, then they had a window of opportunity where with Buddy Ryan, they go to the playoffs 3 years in a row, and they don't win, ever. And then they go for a fourth year in a row, and they finally win when Buddy was gone with Kotite, and then they get their teeth kicked in. It's just weird, is that it's something I take great joy in, though. Like Sunday morning will be a pleasure because they're in it.
I just have the game day butterflies
already
on Wednesday,
which is just incredible to me.
All right, so how did this even come up? This redraft.
We were talking about it yesterday during
post-show
headlines, which, by the way, we hope everybody checks out the YouTube page, likes and subscribes, gets involved in it. And we found a lot of people now have gotten sort of attached to it. A lot of people have got, and they send us notes and they get involved. And they even actually give us topics.
Yeah, which
we'll
we
do them tomorrow.
It.
And we'll do them tomorrow.
Just search Kincade and Salciunas post-show headlines. You'll find them. And our last one was yesterday, where we had this sort of a bunch of random stuff that we got into. And somehow it came up where we started talking about Sirianni. And if there was a redraft of coaches, right, not a hiring process, a draft.
If every owner had a chance to look at their organization and say, I'm going to make a change at coach. Here's what I want to do. Here's what I have an opportunity.
And this is not an exercise to bash.
No, it's not.
Like there's no agenda to this. Like, because I know people go, "Oh, sports talk radio, always trying to be negative." There's no agenda to this.
Take it in the context. It came up this is a conversation that if Connor and Andrew and I were sitting at a bar, this might come up, and then you just start shooting the bull.
And so I wrote down right away. So you know how we do the Eagles or the quarterback stuff? I always say there's a 4 that are untouchable to me, where you can change the order of it, but Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Burrow, I think, are still the top 4.
Do you believe there is going to be do you believe there's a 4 or a 5 or whatever your number is?
I have a
that
3.
Are going to be on. Okay, you have a 3. Connor and I will absolutely have them as a 3. Now Connor looked at the list differently than us. I
he was doing his own personal preference.
I look at it as if every owner had every of the 32 coaches that were in the NFL this year, and they could hire any one of them to be their coach. They were all in front of them. I want that guy. I want that guy. And then they're coming off the board. That's how I did the list. I didn't do it as I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I looked at it as what do I think the owners would do.
So my 3, and we're not doing 10-year contracts.
Now who are they?
McVay, Shanahan, and Reed.
McVay, Shanahan, and Reed are so easy. It's not
like
even
those are like it's the Allen, Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes, right? It's McVay, Shanahan, Reed.
Okay, those are so easy. And if anyone would be offended by that, they're foolish.
Well, and somebody will be because they'll say that Nick Sirianni's beaten all 3 of those guys, which he has.
Like I heard Bill yesterday making a case for, and Bill was having a great conversation. Bill and Ricky were having a great conversation yesterday about the coaches and everything. And he was bringing up the fact that Sean McVay and, Sean McVay has not beaten Nick Sirianni and all that kind of stuff back and forth and everything. And I would tell you this. I believe if every owner was sitting there and they said, oh, do you get to hire the guy, and then he has to do everything for you. You want McVay or you want Sirianni? I believe 32 of 32 would take McVay.
And this is where it's going to get interesting, right? Because you got to think about what teams value. And I wrote down, I don't have like an order the way you do.
No, I don't have I didn't go in order. I didn't go in order.
I wrote down the McVay, Shanahan, Reed is like a 3 that like
that's easy. We all agree on this.
I then broke it down by bad or fired, and I don't put Harbaugh on that, even though he has been fired. He's not bad. He'll be hired in 5 seconds.
Okay, give us 3 more off your list.
Before, all right, the next 3?
Give me, no, anyone you want. Give us 3 more off your list that you think are going to hit with Connor and I.
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton absolutely is getting hired before Nick Sirianni.
Ben Johnson being, isn't he the highest paid coach?
Ben Johnson's on my list.
Sean Payton, Ben Johnson. Those were like 2 easy ones.
Okay.
And then
give me another one.
I'm not ready to say it yet, but Liam Cohen's gonna.
I can't believe you. Liam Cohen's on my list. He's absolutely getting hired. He's absolutely an owner is going. He can control one side of the ball.
Yeah. Well, that's why I broke it down like an offensive list.
Is he on Connor? Are those guys on your list?
Sean Payton is below Sirianni on my list. Liam Cohen is not in the top 10 for me.
Oh my gosh. How about this? You passed on some ones. Did you just pass on them because of? There's 3 that you should have said that every owner would say above Nick Sirianni.
I have 3 more above him, and I have them ordered.
Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin would all be hired above.
I didn't write down John Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, and Mike Tomlin would all be hired before Nick Sirianni. If you're just saying you get to hire one guy and then you're putting them in charge of putting together a staff, doing everything, they all are hired.
Are we sure about Tomlin?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Right.
He would
hasn't won in forever.
If Mike Tomlin was unemployed this cycle, he would be interviewed by every single team.
No, of course he will be. Yeah.
Every team would want him. Every team would at least kick the tires on him.
So do you even have Sirianni in your top 10?
No. He's not in my top 10. He really isn't.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that's think about it. And he's been the most successful coach in the last 5 years.
I also have DeMeco Ryans ahead of him. That I think DeMeco Ryans would be one that
I love
NFL
DeMeco.
owners. So do I.
And I thought it was unfair the way people were speaking of him before the season. Like his defense has been consistent.
His defense is wild.
The concern for people with defensive-minded head coaches is, what's the deal with the offense? You're going to have a really strong offensive coordinator, right? Like that's kind of the deal. And it's not like the Texans' offense was all that great this year, but that defense is so good. They can win a football
I think he'd
game.
be hired ahead of him.
I don't
not
know.
On yours, Connor?
No. He's not even in my top 10.
You're, though, top 10. Are you thinking owners would pass? If all the owners were standing there, they'd go, yeah, I'm picking Nick Sirianni ahead of DeMeco
I think
Ryans.
Sirianni before DeMeco because of the success.
There are also some idiot owners, so it's like,
What is he? The thing is, though, is you're just hiring Nick Sirianni. He doesn't get any. You're saying to him, He's got to go get coordinators. He's got to go
they'll
get.
say he can build a culture that's been able to get to 2 Super Bowls.
Okay, but
and win how many divisions now?
Never missed the playoffs.
Yeah, like that does say something.
Okay.
We've talked about all the time, coaches. It's more than just play calling.
Okay. Do you put Mike Vrabel? Mike Vrabel's getting hired before Nick Sirianni by every owner.
He is the first spot below Sirianni for me.
I like Vrabel more than
Vrabel's getting hired.
Sirianni. What are people saying on the text line? Because we started this at 8 o'clock. We said, hey, start sending them in. I'm curious. If we run through a couple.
And by the way, I'm a big Sirianni supporter.
I know. Well, there's a lot of good coaches. There's also a lot of really bad coaches.
But he doesn't. All those guys can control one side of the ball. They can all fix something. Nick has shown us he cannot fix one side of the ball.
What do we got?
So this texter checks in. Joe from West Philly talks about Nick Sirianni being in the top 5 and brings up, if Andy Reid would have won a Super Bowl back in the day, we would have carried him down Broad Street all 300 plus. He's won one and gone to another. He's got to be top 5.
A top 5 draft pick. If we were to redraft coaches, I don't think that
there's
would be
zero
accurate.
chance.
You could say that he's a top 5 coach in the NFL right now because look, the results speak for itself.
You can say winning percentage and everything.
We're talking about if they were to redraft coaches. I'm curious. You know what? I want to text Bill.
Nobody has texted in outside the top 10.
Okay.
I gave
look, I could see him in the top 10.
I'm telling you right now, he's not. If the 10 I gave you there, I'd die in a mountain for right now. That NFL owners would say the guy that I'm hiring has to be able to fix one side of the ball.
Would Kevin O'Connell be drafted?
Kevin O'Connell's on my list. It's on my list. Like he would have to be able to be because
no shot.
He is a great look. Nick Sirianni's Bobby Bowden. Nick Sirianni is that as a kind of a coach. That's where it came from yesterday.
All right, so I'm curious. Send in more text, 610-632-0975. This isn't like a slander Sirianni thing. It's just where would he get drafted? Curious. Coming up next, I told you I had a realization during the Flyers game yesterday. Walking into and watching said Flyers game yesterday, I had a realization. And also, we have audio from Ricky Batalico. His response to Ray Dunn telling what really happened with the coffee stain. You'll hear it next. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about that FanDuel Sportsbook app. You know I love it. Wild Card round is here. And FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack with every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the wild card round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. So pick the matchups that you believe in. I would take the Eagles and the money line. I don't know if I'd go with the 4.5. You could slide the spread if you want to. Maybe you think Eagles by 2.5, and you could bet that. So I like the Eagles to win said football game. The Jags, money lines pick 'em with Buffalo. Buffalo 1.5-point favorites, though. That's all respect to Josh Allen. I like the Jags in this game on Sunday. The 1 o'clock kickoff. It's an ugly time for playoffs. Visit FanDuel.com, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Grab your profit boost every NFL game day. Then take your shot on the upset. Build a parlay. Whatever fits for you, go with it. You got to be 21 plus, present Pennsylvania, opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-trivial profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Matchup with the San Francisco 49ers Sunday, 4:30 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field in the wild card round. And the coordinators met with the media yesterday, talking about a very obviously talented Niners team on both sides of the ball. The defense has been a little bit shaky lately for San Francisco, but Kevin Patullo talked about the talent that they have.
They do a good job. They're really, really well coached. Coach Saleh does a good job. He's done a good job for a long time. They fly around with the ball. They're very physical. I mean, they play extremely hard. They're disciplined. So it's going to be a good test.
Of course, Vic Fangio also met with the media. His eyes were more on the offensive side of the ball. Here's what he had to say about the Eagles' opponents.
You know, they have a really good scheme. It's all packaged together very nicely. Obviously, Purdy operates it very well. McCaffrey's an elite back. I mean, they had a run where they were hottest offense in the league for like 6-7 weeks in a row.
So clearly there's work to do for the Eagles. This update is brought to you by Corona. Join Andrew and Ricky Bo this Sunday at 4:30 for the Birds Playoff Watch Party at New Deck Tavern, the official 97.5 The Fanatic Watch Party location. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic.
CoachSaladDrafts.com.
Oh, YouTube not happy with the last conversation about the drafting of coaches.
What about it?
I don't know.
What do they know? I mean, what are they not happy?
Well, they're upset that Sirianni would not be a top 10 pick because of all the success. Now, again,
you got to have context in the conversation.
It's again, I'm not trying to even slander the guy. It's
right.
Just, if how many times have we had the conversation? What quarterback would be great in this system with this team with AJ Brown and like that conversation happens all the time. So just kind of take that and turn it into coaching. Nobody's saying Sirianni's a bad coach.
Ricky brought up a great thing yesterday. Charlie Manuel. Charlie Manuel was Nick Sirianni. 5-year run, 5 years of postseason.
Yeah.
Two championships. National League championships. NFC championships. 1 championship parade.
Very little faith in the beginning.
Very little faith in the beginning. Never got the credit that he deserved for being a strategist and everything like that. Nobody around baseball considers Charlie Manuel to be a master. You never hear about Charlie Manuel being one of the greatest managers of all time. But he was perfect for the team that he had at the time.
And he was a damn winner.
But Charlie Manuel was not a guy that Major League general managers were like, man, I'd love to go grab Charlie Manuel. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a perfect fit for the situation that he's in.
It's a fair comparison, but to look at the situation as far as like this draft conversation, baseball is just so different with what a manager has to do.
It is, but again, football, when it comes, what John is saying, fixing a side of the ball.
You got to fix one side of the ball.
Sirianni became a CEO head coach, right? He was originally brought here to be the offensive coach, and
what happened with that?
It has not worked out. He's become a CEO coach, just like Tomlin became a CEO coach, just like Harbaugh became a CEO coach. Why? With success. You only get called CEO coach because you're successful. You don't be called. You're not called a success or a CEO head coach with a 2-14 team.
No, you get fired.
Right. So like Nick Sirianni is a successful coach, which is why he's CEO. But if you're trying to fix a team or fix a side of the ball, and let's face it, what do NFL owners obsess over? Offense. They do. And Sirianni would not be the first offensive mind, I think, that would come off the board.
Not the first, but he's gone to the postseason. If the thing is, the staff and coordinators, he's gone to the postseason with Steichen, Gannon, Brian Johnson, Sean Desai, Matt Patricia mixed. Then you get into what he's got with Fangio, Kellen Moore, and now he's in with Kevin Patullo.
I think
never
they
missed the postseason.
I think they look at 2023, Connor, as one of the biggest embarrassments of talent and waste of talent in the NFL in a long time. I think that season is looked upon across the NFL as being a complete waste of talent of a team.
That defense was a disaster.
And that won the NFC the year before and lost the Super Bowl on a Jalen Hurts fumble. That people look at that as a disaster of a season. How did that happen?
Yeah,
as like good job getting the 5 seed, Nick Sirianni.
Right, but I'll show you a third of the NFL that would kill to have that season.
Of course.
But not with that talent and not with that expectation.
Nobody's saying Nick Sirianni stinks.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, it's different.
It's the quarterback thing, right? Nobody says Jalen Hurts. Well, there are people that say Jalen Hurts.
There are plenty.
But like, I don't think Jalen Hurts stinks. But Jalen Hurts is my first quarterback off the board. He's not my top 5.
No,
like,
he's not.
But he's a winner, and Jalen Hurts, other than Patrick Mahomes, has been more successful than all those. He's been more successful than Burrow, more successful than Lamar, more successful than Allen, more successful than Matthew Stafford, kind of. But I would take those 4, including Patrick Mahomes, before Jalen Hurts.
Josh Allen is a underdog on the road in the playoffs. Hasn't won a game.
Yeah.
Hadn't won a game. So when he goes on the road and a little pressure, go win a game, Josh Allen. Never happened.
Yeah.
Now, he has good numbers, and 3 of those games, he balled out.
Yeah.
Right. Just if you tell me that that the owners are not going to pick Nick Sirianni in the top 10 if all coaches were available, I'm going to say the owners are dumb.
Okay. And that's
fair.
fair.
You can say it. Sure, you can say that.
All right. You can text in on that, 610-632-0975. Are my Flyers realization yesterday. We'll play the Ricky audio in the next segment. My Flyers realization. I said this to Connor, and he agreed with me.
What's that?
Walking into the game yesterday, and then obviously looking around because it was such a fun atmosphere yesterday. Is the Flyers sweater the second most in-game jersey worn in Philadelphia?
Yes. Not even close.
And the reason why I say Eagles is number 1, it's too damn hot from June through August for you to wear a Phillies jersey.
See,
to a game.
I do.
I'm more of a T-shirt guy.
See, and I will.
It's hot. Like I can't wear the Phillies jersey. The Flyers sweater you can wear comfortably walking into the game because it actually keeps you warm when it's cold outside.
Sure.
And it's cold inside.
Right.
So the sweater's perfect. The Eagles jersey is always number one, and not many people wear Sixers jerseys.
No.
It's more so sweatshirts and jackets.
No, because
and bros.
guys don't realize that they don't have the shoulders and the arms to pull it off.
So is the Flyers sweater the second most in-game worn jersey in a Philadelphia sport?
Yeah, it has to be.
It's not even close.
And when I said it, you're like, we started thinking about it, and they're like, wow, that's actually kind of cool.
It is cool.
Yeah,
even in the bad times.
It's not my brain.
It's just weather and outfit.
By the way, it's a modern. Now, this is the thing, though, this is a your generation thing. Because I can show you where
trench coats and
you can show you what you didn't. No, even in the 80s,
Jeff caps.
Even in the 80s, when I worked for the Flyers, people didn't wear Flyers jerseys to games. When the Flyers were in the 87 finals, 87 Stanley Cup finals, go watch the highlights. The fans weren't wearing jerseys to games.
Yeah, there was no DH game.
It's a modern era thing. No, we had Models. Got to go to Moe's. We had all those things. All were available. Fans didn't wear jerseys to games. It's a modern thing.
All right, coming up next, Ricky Bottalico on being called out for the coffee spillage. We have our 5 best minutes of Schefter. Also, remember yesterday I told you we were going to keep a tally on non-Eagles or Niners people and who they're picking. We have some updates for you next here on The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
First look at the injury report. I'm Connor Thomas. The Eagles are another day closer to hosting the 49ers in the wild card round. Sunday, 4:30 p.m. from the link, and with Wednesday being the day of the week that it is, that means we're going to get our first look at the injury report for both sides. We'll see who's available for the Eagles and Niners. We know, though, that both these are talented football teams, and Vic Fangio and Kevin Patullo both met with the media yesterday. Kevin Patullo talked about the challenges of going up against a Robert Saleh coach defense.
Do a good job. They're really, really well coached. Coach Saleh does a good job. He's done a good job for a long time. They fly around on the ball. They're very physical. I mean, they play extremely hard. They're disciplined. So it's going to be a good test.
Nick Sirianni will meet with the media today at 11:50 a.m. The Flyers had a nice win last night, 5-2 over the Anaheim Ducks. Trevor Zegras, 2 goals in the first period against his former team. They're off tonight. Sixers are back on the floor tonight hosting the Wizards. A 7 p.m. tip-off. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by Corona. Join Andrew and Ricky Bowe this Sunday at 4:30 for the Birds playoff watch party at New Deck Tavern, the official 97.5 The Fanatic watch party location. $5 Corona Extra and $5 Modelo drafts, giveaways, and exclusive Go Birds tees. Sponsored by Corona, La Playa awaits. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
More of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way now.
It is 9 o'clock on this Wednesday morning. YouTube not happy with the just asking the question about the NFL draft redraft. I asked Billy Colarulo, by the way, Nick's cousin.
Well, what did he say?
I said, if the league did a head coaching draft, where do you think Sirianni would get drafted? I said, not your personal opinion.
Okay.
Because we know that he would say number one. He said around 6 or 7.
Wow.
Thank you. That was.
Now, we
just means you're both wrong.
Reached out to an NFL insider, put the question, and I did not frame it any differently. I framed it the exact same way and said, where would it be? And got a hell no that he wouldn't be in the top 10. Because, and the information given was, NFL owners want their head coach to control one side of the ball. And that was the reasoning given by a premier NFL insider.
Well, maybe NFL owners should want to win more.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Woody Johnson wants to draft the best team possible.
Woody Johnson's a freaking idiot
with his Madden ratings.
He's letting like his 9-year-old kid, I don't know how old Brick is, pick his team based on Madden ratings, and these are the guys that we're supposed to trust to evaluate Nick Sirianni.
And he's naming his kid after Stephen A. Smith's character on General Hospital.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That's weird.
All right, a couple of things. We'll get to our 5 best minutes of Shefty coming up at 9:10. You can text in. You can call in 610-632-0975. Your vibe check going into the NFL playoffs for the Philadelphia Eagles. What does another playoff appearance mean for you? And the conversation that has gotten people heated. If there was a redraft in the NFL, a draft, because there's no redrafting of coaches. If there was a draft of coaches in the NFL, where would Nick Sirianni go? We're just trying to
I can't imagine like going to the bar with people who would be offended by these conversations. Because I don't know, the bars or golf groups or whatever that I hang out with. I can't imagine the amount of nonsense that we discuss or hypotheticals we discuss that people would be offended by.
That's why I had my message in the very beginning of the show. You guys might get upset with what's talked about, but come puck drop, tip-off, kickoff, first pitch, we're all on the same page, and that's why last night's Flyers game was so much fun, that we were all on the same page.
Absolutely.
Dislike Cutter Gauthier, root for the team that's been very fun to watch this year, really cheer on Trevor Zegras scoring goals against his old team, and have a hell of a night, regardless of what you think about the big picture of the Flyers, regardless of anything. We're all on the same page.
Boy, Trevor
last night.
Trevor is really becoming a fan favorite.
Yeah, and can you play again? This was Trevor Zegras. He was on with NBC Sports Philadelphia after the game yesterday, and this was his back and forth with Scotty Hartnell.
Down here with Trevor Zegras. What a wild atmosphere here at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. It's fun for the fans, fun for us talking. How about playing?
It was amazing. I missed last year's game, but I heard all about it. I was fired up to play in this one. The boos were great, but the cheers were even better.
Oh, that's awesome. And a team that, might have given up on you, Trevor, and you come in here, you pot 2 in that first period. How good did that feel?
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome, buddy. And I got to ask you about the celebration on the first one. You hung up the phone. Who was it to, and what's that all about?
I don't know. But that's about how quick the phone call was before, so I thought it'd be good.
That's great. And one last one for you. Christian Dvorak signs a big ticket, 5 years. He better be buying the next dinner out, right?
He's the best. He's amazing. I'm so happy for him. We love him, and it's a nice deal for both of them.
Nice. Congrats on a big win. Back to you guys.
Bleep, yeah, it was. It was amazing. I love you, Trevor
love that.
Zegras. That's awesome. All right. Couple bits of audio for you before we get to our 5 best minutes of Shefty. Let's start with the not as important, Eagles-Niners. The more important is what's going on here in the hallways of 97.5 The Fanatic. So yesterday we told you we were going to do something. We were going to keep a running tally on non-Eagles, non-Niners people and who they're picking for this upcoming game. So yesterday, Henry McKenna was the first person that I saw that gave a prediction. He had the Niners. Mike Sando does a good job for the Athletics. Spoke with an executive, Johnny.
Oh, he spoke with an
this morning. The executive goes with the Niners. The reason being, not as much dysfunction. That was their reason. Schefter joined us an hour ago. Said Eagles without hesitation. And he didn't care if it was Niners, Packers, whoever's coming to Philadelphia, this first-round matchup. He went with the Eagles. So we have 1 for the Eagles, 2 for the Niners. Yesterday, Benjamin Solak, who is a writer for ESPN, was on Up and Adams. Is it still called that?
Yeah, Up and Adams.
And here was his pick for this upcoming weekend's game.
I think they lose to the 49ers. I find them a very difficult team to trust. Their only good offensive performances over the last 2 months have come against bad defenses. And I think it's fair to say the 49ers are a bad defense by the advanced metrics, but the 49ers are also good at getting off the field on third down and executing in the red zone. And the Eagles have been a great third and fourth down team and a great red zone team. So it's going to kind of come down to high leverage plays on that side of the ball. Defensively, you really like what the Eagles have done and the improvement from a lot of players in their defensive line. The young secondary is great, but they're gettable. They've been gettable because they don't have great edge rush presence and they don't have a great corner too. And you're going against Kyle Shanahan, which is just Kyle never walks into a game plan where you have 2 or 3 weak spots and doesn't find a way to get after them. So it's hard to imagine the Niners having as quiet of an offensive performance as they did against the Seahawks, against these Eagles.
Okay, right there. My listening ears went off.
At least you made it through the majority of the clip.
No, went off halfway through.
Oh, okay.
Because Benjamin Solak's talking about the Eagles' offense, and he says that the Eagles' offense has been really good on third and fourth down. That's false.
No, he said the Niners' defense has been good at getting off the field on third down.
He said even though they've been bad this year with
but he said, but the Eagles' offense has been good on third and fourth down. If I misheard it, I'll apologize.
I didn't hear that.
I did not hear that.
I heard him say that.
I think he meant the 49ers defense has been bad this year based off of metrics, but they've been good at getting off on third and fourth.
Oh, okay, because I thought he said Eagles on that. I just
regardless. That's another Niners pick. So we have Solak, executive, unnamed executive, and Henry McKenna.
Look, Sando.
No, he does a great job.
Sando does a great job. Yeah, Sando's not just going, I'm going to write something and credit it to a mystery exec and just make it up. No, he's really
Apologies,
good.
Johnny. He did say that in the middle there.
He did say.
Yeah,
he said the Eagles offense. Okay, so immediately, his opinion is totally discounted.
But then again, he did pick the Niners. So.
No, but his opinion is totally discounted because he's incorrect. Oh, the Eagles are really good on third. The Eagles are one of the worst teams in the NFL on third down. So, in other words, he's just on TV blathering. He's on TV. He hasn't done his research. He hasn't done his homework on the matchup. They're awful on third down. They're one of the worst teams. He's terrible at that. That is lazy. That's a lazy job.
The running tally so far.
It's a lazy job.
Schefter, the only Eagle pick.
And Schefter didn't even blink.
And 3 Niners picks.
Well, and 2 of them are.
And who sent that to you? Somebody sent that to you yesterday.
Yeah, someone here. I'll find it on Instagram. They tagged us in a comment.
If you see or hear anyone picking Eagles Niners, the predictions, send it to us, and we'll keep the running tally right now 1-3. Eagles only getting 1 pick so far, and it was on this show by Adam Schefter.
By the way, I guarantee you, Pete Prisco.
Yeah,
so you might as well just make it 4.
Yeah, that was Scott Murphy.
Thank you to Scott Murphy. We'll keep that going all the way throughout the rest of the week. All right, now even more pressing matters. Ricky Pitalico. It was announced yesterday on this show that he was the person that spilled the coffee.
And we didn't announce it.
No. I posted a video on my personal account, Salciunas975, same for Twitter and Instagram. And I said, who did this and who leaves this? We later found out.
By the way, I said when we first had the discussion, I guess Ricky missed this part. And considering he gets up early in the morning, I'm shocked. We both said, I was the first one to say it, and then you agreed with me. The last person I believed it to be was Ricky Pitalico.
Well, he missed that part.
And so he must have missed that part because I said the last person I believe it would be Ricky Pitalico because I think Ricky Pitalico cleans up after himself and always leaves a clean workspace.
So Ray Dunn tells us on the show it was him throwing the ball around. The coffee spilled on Ray.
Uh-oh.
And then Ricky proceeded to laugh about it and then block everybody. Here was the moment it was discussed on Unfiltered yesterday.
Let's start by clean up after yourself, dude. Those guys on the morning show are the biggest slobs, pigs I've ever met in my life.
You know what I'm hearing right now? You're deflecting.
No,
did you or did you not
Absolutely.
leave the car?
I knocked it over. Yes.
Oh, you're admitting it.
I knocked it over, but what ass leaves a cup of coffee on a table?
Yeah, but you got to clean it up, man.
Well, I'm not cleaning it up. They don't clean up jack.
Yeah, but
they are the dirtiest people in the world.
But what do you do when you spill milk? Put newspaper over it like Big Daddy and just keep going about your day?
I don't need, you know what? You want me to regret what I did? No, I don't. Bill, you've seen me clean the counters out there for who? Am I cleaning up from what I've done or from what people in the past have done before me?
I love that because Ricky, there has never been a time that someone has come into our studio to do the midday show in any iteration that they've had to come in and go, oh, what a filthy mess Kincade or Salciunas or Connor has left behind.
No.
So that is
Ricky's
fake
complained
news.
about your computer placement, and that's it.
Oh, yes, he does. And then the food, when people bring in food for the morning show, there are 2 shows coming. So the idea is we don't throw away food that has been left for us. The food is then left for the midday show to be able to eat.
Yeah.
That the sponsors bring in. So we're not going to take the food and throw it away.
No.
When we're leaving. So, in other words, deflect. I'm disappointed.
I'm really disappointed,
in Ricky there.
Because he has no regrets for leaving the mess behind, which is that number one. I put out 5 observations on Twitter yesterday.
Wow.
That was number one. Him having no regret for leaving the mess behind is horrible. Like that. Come on, dude. You got to clean up after yourself. 2, you did not hear it in the clip that Connor played. He said it was my coffee cup. John,
it was not your coffee
John,
cup.
what do you see here?
We use tumblers. It was not Andrew's. And Andrew brings his from home.
And I bring it back home every day.
Or if you ever want a second one, you go down and get it and fill it up. I rarely see you ever do that.
No, I
never did. Connor does not leave it around.
I don't drink coffee.
Because Connor doesn't drink coffee. So we have 2 people on this show that don't drink coffee.
My third
Andrew brings his coffee with him.
And I bring it home every
in a
day.
sealed tumbler.
My third observation, to your point, leaving the mess behind, I would say ask John and Marks. There's no messes here.
We do not leave messes behind.
4, he talked about Dylan McKinnon, can't trust him. I completely agree.
Well, we agree with that point.
5, the Big Daddy reference by Andrew DeCecco was spot on.
I laughed out loud. I hadn't heard the clip, and I laughed out loud. Good job. DeCecco, again, he takes it to a level.
And then Ricky goes around blocking people on social media.
And then Ricky blocked Talico?
Sad day.
Like, that's disappointing.
Sad day.
We have a playoff game Sunday. Can we all just come together and be on the same side?
Look, I just appreciate that Bill did call him out for deflection. DeCecco was on our side, too.
Thank you, Bill.
Big day yesterday. All right, let's go to T-Love. What's up, T-Love? You're on the Fanatic.
Yeah, what's up, fellas?
What's up, brother?
Yeah, hey, man. First of all, let me just say, the Eagles didn't lose the Super Bowl because Jalen Hurts fumbled. Okay?
Yes, they did.
How did they lose?
They lost the Super Bowl.
They were up by 10 at halftime after the fumble. They didn't lose the game because he fumbled.
They were tied. They were tied with 2 minutes to go in a Super Bowl where they gave the other team.
Did they after the fumble? Were they not up by 10?
Okay, I'm not saying.
You said that they lost.
They lost because
he fumbled.
Patrick Mahomes did not give us any free touchdowns.
Double talk.
No, it's not. It's factual talk.
Hey, Bob, it's not factual.
Wait a minute. Wait. No. It's not an opinion. Patrick Mahomes did not give the Eagles any points. Jalen Hurts gave the Chiefs 7 points. Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
That's the conversation we're having. You said that the Eagles lost the Super Bowl because Jalen Hurts fumbled.
Because he gave 7 points.
You said.
And I also say, and if you've ever heard me talk about that performance, I thought Jalen Hurts.
Talk a lot.
I heard well then because you're not listening then. Because Jalen Hurts, I say that Jalen Hurts was brilliant that day.
All right.
But that fumble cost the
this
Super
all day.
Bowl.
What was I know you wanted to chime in on the Sirianni thing. What do you got, T-Love?
Yeah, here we go. Sirianni, it's often said that Jalen Hurts is a product of the talent around him. I mean, who's more evident than Nick Sirianni of that statement? I mean, this guy, he's responsible for the 2023 debacle. Anytime he's allowed to pick personnel, he's responsible for this Kevin Patullo debacle. I mean, I don't trust him. He can't figure out how to fix it himself. He's a product of guys around. He has to have the right people, the right personnel around him in order for him to look good. He's a great motivator. And
that gives him a lot of props.
Yeah, but
so I'm curious, where do you think, not you personally, where do you think the league would draft Sirianni?
He's not even in the top 5. He's in the top 5 because of his record, maybe. But the same can be said about Jalen, and then people don't say. But I think that because of his record, he definitely deserves a spot in the top 10. But if I had to go over, if not knowing who he was, and if he didn't have this record, and based on what he has done as far as not being able, we see that he's not a good hire of personnel. He can't figure his way out of a box. I really don't trust the guy. I trust Howie Roseman. I trust the team. Nick Sirianni doesn't give me a whole lot to trust. I don't trust Kevin Patullo at all. I look back and say, why after 2023 would you put a rookie in a position this way when you have a Cadillac team? Why would you even do that? I mean, anybody with experience would have been better than this guy.
That's good.
I mean,
T-Love and I agree on that, like, completely. Completely. He is, look, Nick does a great job of motivating, but he's a product of the assemblage around him. When he doesn't have good coordinators, the team goes off the rails and into a ditch. When he has great coordinators, he wins. Flat out.
Look, I think he's right around 10. If the league redrafts.
And I had 12 or 13 for me.
All right. Earlier today, Adam Schefter joined us. New time now, 8:05 moving forward. Here is the 5 best minutes of Shefty. From ESPN, the great Adam Schefter joins us. Shefty, good morning.
Good morning. You know, you bounced me around. I do want to let you know that my rate is higher at 8:05 than it is at 7:55, but that's okay.
What did people make of the decision for the Eagles to rest the starters with the 2 seed up for grabs, and then, of course, the doomsday scenario playing out, where if they play their starters, they're probably the 2 seed?
Nick Sirianni made the decision to prioritize the rest for his guys, and he knows his team better than anybody. So I understand that. What I don't like is if we just go back to last year, the 2 seed would have been very valuable. Detroit lost in round 1. And Philadelphia wound up hosting the NFC Championship game last year because the 1 seed was out. So you want to rest your guys, and I understand that. It's important. I think, and it's very easy to say this hindsight, if it's me, I'm going to put my guys out there. I'm going to get a feel of the day. I'm going to see what's going on in Detroit and Chicago. I'm going to see what's going on with my team. Maybe my team can get us a 14-0 lead, and I start to pull guys one by one. Again, very easy to say this hindsight. I want the higher seed in the event that Seattle loses in week 1.
I think you're being too kind with the whole hindsight thing, because every single team in the NFL that had a chance to improve their stead on Sunday did exactly what you just said, except the Eagles.
I remember covering the Denver Broncos in the 90s, and there was so much that they taught me and I learned from them. And there was a year, maybe it was the Jacksonville year in 1996, when the Broncos were dominant and they rested their starters the last week or 2, and they came out and they lost to Jacksonville in round 1. My stance reversed after that. Like, there were then 16 Sundays. There are 17 Sundays. Everybody's got 17 Sundays. It is a physically demanding, exhausting, grueling game. I got it. Everybody plays the same. You play the games. You want to pull certain guys at certain times? Fine. But to rest, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't believe in it. I think you lose. Not that the Eagles' offense has been rolling along anyway. It hasn't. But I think you lose some of that mojo. But now let me say this also. The flip side is, let's be fair, if all of a sudden he's putting those guys out there and Saquon Barkley goes down, you're going to be like sick that you had these guys out there. But you know what? I feel that way in a preseason game. In a regular season game, it's very unfortunate and disappointing. But again, there's 17 of these Sundays. I don't subscribe to, like, rest for the guys. I just think it sends a bad message to the team. It felt like they treated that. It felt like a preseason game is what it felt. And it's the last game of the season. There's seeding on the line. And it felt like they were treating it like a preseason game to me.
Could it be that the Eagles, though, end up with a less dangerous opponent in your mind with the 49ers coming to town instead of potentially playing the Packers?
I don't think it matters one way or the other, San Francisco or Green Bay. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. They're both good but flawed and injured teams. Both good. Like, they each have certain things that would make you nervous, and they each have certain weaknesses that make you feel better. To me, again, resting guys, and trying to select an opponent, that's a futile exercise. I don't see any advantage in that. But the 2 seed, that like if Seattle loses that first week, and I don't think they will, but if they do, oh boy, you're going to feel bad that you didn't have that 1 seed if you're still alive, or that 2 seed.
Yep.
So we'll see how it plays out. But the opponent, Green Bay, San Francisco, that to me is secondary. Like, bring on whoever. Here's the deal. Let me break it down for you very simply, whether it was the Niners or the Eagles. If the Eagles go play their A game, they're going to beat either team, period.
Listen, man, we appreciate you moving your calendar. We'll make sure that you get paid properly with the new 8 o'clock hour hits.
Like you take the train at certain times. It's off peak and peak. 8 is peak.
Yeah, look, happy hour ends at 8 o'clock, and so you're going to cost more. And we'll make sure the powers that be take care of you, Shefty. I promise.
Thanks, Adam. We appreciate you, buddy.
Yep. All right, guys. Have
See
a
you
great
next
day.
week.
All right, there's our 5 best minutes of Adam Schefter. You can hear that entire thing on 97.5thefanatic.com as well as our YouTube page. All right, coming up next, I have a very random question for fans that have ever attended a game, even if it was just one time. A very random question. It hit me sitting next to you guys yesterday at the Flyers game, and I wanted to save it for the show. I even emailed it to myself, so I didn't even text you guys. And can we compare the 49ers to another team in the playoffs from last year? John Kincade thinks so. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
You know, Dan. Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Another day closer. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles are another day closer to hosting the 49ers in the wild card round Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Obviously, the 12-win Niners are a talented football team. They're going to bring their challenges for the Birds. Vic Fangio and Kevin Patullo both met with the media yesterday and talked about their respective sides of the ball. Vic Fangio focusing, of course, on that 49ers offense.
You know, they have a really good scheme. It's all packaged together very nicely. Obviously, Purdy operates it very well. McCaffrey's an elite back. I mean, they had a run where they were hottest offense in the league for like 6-7 weeks in a row.
We'll get our first injury report of the week as well today, and keeping an eye on that. There are some big names that could potentially be out. We'll see if Lane Johnson's back, Nakobe Dean, Trent Williams for the Niners. Nick Sirianni will also meet with the media today at 11:50. Flyers had an impressive win over the Ducks last night, a 5-2 final. Trevor Zegras scored 2 in the first period against his former team. They're off tonight. Sixers are back on the floor tonight hosting the Wizards. A 7 p.m. tip-off. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Bill Colarulo and Michelob Ultra are heading to Lucy's on Chestnut Street this Friday, January 9th from 7 to 9 p.m. for an Ultra Access event featuring $5 Michelob Ultra drafts in Center City. You can score tickets to the Fanatic Suite for an upcoming Sixers game. Sponsored by Michelob Ultra. Please enjoy responsibly. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Unfiltered with Ricky Bo. Philly Sports Talk, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The final hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to Bagster.com.
All right, I want some immediate responses on this. Call in, text in, YouTube. You guys, as always, we appreciate you being a part of the show every single day. So yesterday, we were at the Flyers game. A lot of fun last night. Flyers taking down Cutter Gauthier and the Ducks, and the building was electric. And it was great to see, I don't want to say rebirth, but maybe a rebirth for people that are checking in more and more, right? Because there are Flyers fans that have been there every single night, just like there were Phillies fans that probably had season tickets for that 10-year playoff drought, right?
There was only like 15,000 of them, but
sure,
they did.
But the gate ticket fans, there's more and more. And on a Tuesday night like last night, after holidays, right? Like holiday breaks over. Everybody's back to the hustle and bustle. And yet these guys the fans there last night were incredible. It was a great night last night. So during the intermission, they had a kid do the where you follow the pretzel. You got to get the pretzel that has the logo. The Phillies do the helmet shuffle, all these shuffles, right? And it made me think, have either of you, and I want people to chime in if they have, ever been selected for one of those things? And I'm not saying you as a media member. I'm saying like when you were a kid. Because how they do it is you're walking into the building, and they typically pull you aside and say, hey, do you want to be a part of it? I don't think they like go into the stands 2 minutes into the game and grab somebody. It's usually when you first walk in. I've been to hundreds of games, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, and I never was selected to do one of those things. Have you guys ever been?
No.
Me, never. My daughter, yes. Me, never.
Was your daughter selected because they knew Papa?
No. She got picked to open Disney World.
That's cool.
You like one of the things where you're standing there at rope drop?
Yeah. And they picked her. That's cool.
And literally, like, the kids are dressed up, and, like, the kids are there, and they're all waiting, and they're just along rope drop, and then they come along and grab her.
Yeah.
And then they say, where's your mom and dad? And we got to go in, and she got to be with Mickey and open up the park.
That's awesome.
Never, ever, though.
I want to know.
Never did I get to do something.
Have either of you YouTube, what was the game? What was the team? Like, and I'm saying the game that you played on the Jumbotron. Like, I've never spoken to anybody. I see it every day. Every time I go to a game, somebody is selected. And yet I've never known said person, nor have I ever talked to a person that at one point in their life they were selected for one of those games. Do you know anyone other than your daughter? Do you know anyone, Connor?
No. It's a 3 in however many thousand chance for a certain age range for certain things.
Yeah, but do you know anybody?
No, dude, this is
it's like you just don't.
Do you know anyone that hit the 50-50 at games?
No.
It just doesn't
happen
happen often.
I've never known anybody.
Well, it happens every game.
Does it, though?
I think so.
How many people were at the Flyers game last night?
Probably 18,000.
Okay, so we saw how many people do that? One?
Yeah, I'm just curious. I want to know. So hopefully the big radio sphere that we have,
Somebody's
if you've
done
ever been a part, I just want to know. Like,
I want to know if someone.
How cool was that?
I like what you just said, though. I don't know. I want to know if somebody, because every time I go to an Eagles game, even if I go as a media member, if I'm out in the concourse, I always buy 50-50. And I've never won a thing. I just wonder if anybody.
Don't worry, your luck's coming one day.
Well, it's like hitting an 18,000 to 1 bet. It doesn't happen. It'll happen once in a while.
Well, if anybody knows anyone, chime in. YouTube or text or call 610-632-0975. All right, you are maybe thinking the Niners could be like a team in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, I think there's a great chance. In fact, I'm gonna lean on this big time. I think the Niners are a lot like last year's Vikings, and take it this way. The Vikings last year were 14-2 going into the last game of the year. And they played the Lions with the chance to win and be the top seed in the NFC. They lost in embarrassing fashion, got blown out, just like this year happened to the 49ers. They lost that game with everything on the line to get the 1 seed. They got blown out, lost in embarrassing fashion.
If you remember that Packers game, they celebrated as if they won the Super Bowl, which was the previous week, and then they got spanked.
Spanked. They lost, and they dropped to the 5 seed. San Francisco drops to the 6 seed.
Right.
So the 49ers had the same opportunity Saturday night. They lost. They drop all the way to the 6 seed. The Vikings came out that next week, and they were flat.
Yeah.
Flat as a pancake at the Rams, the home team, the divisional winner, the 4-seed Rams, and they were down 24-3 at halftime, and the wild card game was over. Now, I do not expect what Andrew expects, a 4-quarter nail-biter to the last second, but I do not expect 24-3 at halftime either. But I do think that we could really be looking at a 49ers team that regrets, much like we heard earlier in the show, where the host was saying, yeah, we were this close to the 1 seed and 2 wins to go to the Super Bowl. We get blown out on Saturday night, and now we got to go to Philly. And he's saying, I don't feel good about it.
It's a really good thought. Like, I like the thought a lot. The only difference is that was his first year as a head coach, O'Connell, right? That was his first year?
No.
Second year?
Was it? O'Connell's been around longer.
How long
than
has
that,
O'Connell been with the Vikings as the head coach?
4 years?
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, he's been there long. Last year was not his first.
All right. Well, was it his first year in the playoffs? Whereas Shanahan has had success.
He has.
You know what I mean? So
I'll give you that.
I love your thought.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm just saying.
But there is a difference between the resume of the two.
The only thing I would say to you is Shanahan's not playing. And this is a beat-up bunch. A beat-up bunch of players.
Oh, you're right. That was his third year last year. They went 13-4 his first year, and the Giants upset them in round 1.
Like he's a guy who that is a team that really got deflated. I think when you go from saying, look, we're a beat-up team, look, all we got to do is win this one game at home, and we got to win, and all we'll have to do is win 2 games, and we're going to the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl is going to be on our home field, and you get blown out. I think
it's got to be deflating.
I think the balloon I think not deflated. I don't think it's a balloon that somebody unhooks and it goes. I think it's one that pops. Yeah, I think the 49ers balloon has been popped. That is what I'm going to go with. My gut instinct is the 49ers come in here a beaten team.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my gut instinct.
By the way, Air9886 on our YouTube chat.
What's up, Air?
According to him, he shot a half-court shot during the Jazz-Celtics 94 finals.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a really cool story.
And just randomly picked to do it?
I guess, yeah. Karate Mark. Oh, there you go. I do know one person. Karate Mark was a half-court shooter.
We saw that.
And he hit it and won season tickets.
He won the season tickets because of that.
Yeah, so he was already a season ticket holder. What the Sixers do at the end of every year, they invite a handful of season ticket holders onto the field, onto the court. And if you hit it, you win season tickets for the next year. And Karate Mark hit his.
Okay, that's wild.
That's kind of cool.
That
All
is
right,
wild.
hold on. Bob in Iowa, or we just have Bob? Bob.
Yeah, Bob way out here in Iowa, guys. Great
What's
show.
up, Bob? How are you, Bob?
I'm doing great. I'm from South Philly, originally moved out here in '85, and I'm a diehard Eagles fan. And I got to tell you, there are so many Eagles fans out here in Iowa.
Really?
We go to the Chiefs game and the Vikings game, and I'm telling you, I swear it's almost like a home game out there.
Where do you live in Iowa?
Des Moines, outside of Des Moines.
Oh, that is incredible. Did you, buddy of mine's dad, John Bachman, used to be the big newsman out there.
Oh, yeah.
Bob, is Cooper DeJean like the second coming in Iowa?
He can run for mayor.
That's awesome. All right, so Bob,
better yet, governor. Let's go big time. He's great out here. And let me just say this, okay? I have so many Kansas City Chiefs fans, but in the Super Bowl they were rooting for the Eagles because of Cooper DeJean because he was from Iowa.
Yeah, I mean he's a hero, man.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, let's get back to it. Like my son, he was 10 years old. And believe it or not, we had season tickets to the Iowa Barnstormers back then with Kurt Warner was on the team.
Oh, my God. It's awesome.
Yeah, and he was chosen to have this competition kick a 20-yard field goal. And he was chosen because he was out there fielding the practice field goal. So they chose him to come out on the field. He's 10 years old. Guess what? He nailed it. $500. Got to shake Kurt Warner's hand. Got to shake Kurt Warner's hand and everything.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was great. It was great. Listen, I'm rooting all the way for these Eagles. My Eagles buddy out here at the bowling alley, we're going nuts. Anything can happen.
I love that.
But
Enjoy yourself.
I love the gathering at the bowling alley.
Don't say anything can happen. The Eagles are favorites in this game. The Eagles are, honestly, the Eagles are heavy favorites in this game.
Thanks for the call, Bob.
They're 4.5-point favorites.
The bowling alley gathering is a good time.
They're heavy favorites in this game. They're not just favorites. They're heavy favorites. They're 4.5-point favorites.
Rough year for the Iowa Barnstormers. They are still in existence.
They are?
They finished 1-15 this year. They're an indoor football team.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the Warner, the AFL. They finished 1-15 this year. So tough season for the Iowa Barnstormers. All right, coming up next. We got to get through Sunday first, obviously. But I want to give you a little look ahead to the divisional round of the playoffs and what Vegas is thinking. I'll tell you that also tomorrow is a major anniversary in the tri-state area. I wonder if Johnny can guess it.
Wow.
It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 the Fanatic. Let's talk about an upcoming opportunity for you. Maybe you'll get spilled on. Maybe you won't. I texted him and I said, you better not be spilling anything on me on Sunday. He said, we'll be good. Don't you worry. Even though he blocked me on Twitter, he has not blocked my phone number yet. This Sunday, 4:30, Ricky and I will be at the New Deck Tavern. 4:30 kickoff with you, the official 97.5 The Fanatic watch party. It may be freezing outside, but inside New Deck Tavern, Corona is bringing the beach day vibes to game day. Enjoy $5 Corona extras and $5 Modelo drafts all game long. Eagles playoff football isn't for the faint of heart or like week 1 or week 2 or week 3. But, of course, we know when the game gets intense, Corona's always there to step in. Take a breather, kick back, and reset with an ice cold Corona while soaking in those easygoing beach vibes, even in January. Plus, we'll be giving away exclusive football prizes like the limited edition Fanatic Corona Kelly Green Go Birds t-shirt that you can only get at the watch party. New Deck Tavern has wall-to-wall TVs. Killer menu. I love it there. I've been there numerous times in my years. And, of course, a crowd that brings energy from kickoff to the final whistle. So grab your crew, escape the cold, and join us this weekend. New Deck Tavern, the official Fanatic watch party location, sponsored by Corona. La Playa awaits.
The Fanatics.
way, shout out to Joe Mills, Larry McLaughlin, Dan Gezerick, Jared Wood, and Dwayne Perry. Those were the 5 winners for the Flyers tickets for last night's sweet game that we had before the Ducks. That was during Name That Caroler.
We had a great time.
Our 5 Sixers winners are going tonight. Tonight's the Sixers game for the Name That Caroler contest that we did. So it was great hanging out with those 5 great winners. And, of course, their guests yesterday. Good time, especially with a great game like the Flyers taking care of the Ducks yesterday.
I think their guests, for some of the guys, their guests were really impressive.
Tremendous. Everyone was tremendous.
Great group.
By the way, Air on our YouTube chat, you got me. It was a fake story. It was from Celtic Pride, the movie.
What? What are you talking about?
The half-court shot at the...
What is Celtic Pride?
Oh, you never seen that movie? It's horrible.
Well, then I probably never seen it.
No, we've never seen it.
There are good movies. There are some good movies I haven't seen.
12% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, well then I've never seen it.
It's got Marv from Home Alone.
Who's Marv? The guy like
the tall one of the
non-Joe Pesci
of the wet bandits.
Okay.
And Dan Aykroyd. They were huge Celtics fans, and Damon Wayans was the best player on the Jazz, and they were playing each other in the finals, and they kidnapped Damon Wayans.
Okay, I remember that.
It's a horrible movie.
I remember the premise of that movie. I remember seeing like promos for it.
You got me. I got to give it to you. Congratulations. This is why I don't trust anybody.
Did
anymore.
anybody see that movie?
Who do I trust? I did see
Except
it.
him.
But
you did see it.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was a basketball movie, so of course I watched it.
Then you watched Eddie, which was terrible.
Oh, man. All right, if the Eagles win on Sunday, which we expect them to. So
when the Eagles win.
FanDuel has the next round odds. So I just want to let you know.
Already?
Yeah, they did it before the playoffs.
How do they do it like when they don't even know opponents?
They have every
every
scenario.
matchup.
Yeah, every scenario. So if the Eagles were to go to Chicago,
what do they have the line at?
They have the Eagles as 2.5-point favorites.
Wow, Connor, you nailed that one yesterday. Do you think that's higher than you expected?
No, that's about where I thought.
I did not expect that. I thought it would be Eagles -1, maybe.
So it's Eagles -2.5 in Chicago. If they were to host the Rams, do you guys want to take a guess? I should have had you
Rams -1.
Rams would be favored in that game.
The Rams are favored. You're close, -1.5.
Okay. Which is so weird.
Before the playoffs, they had that on there if the Eagles were playing the Rams in the wild card round. So
Rams would have been favored in that one too. Yeah.
You know, it was the same line.
Now this can all change if the Eagles go out and dominate San Francisco and the Rams barely get by Carolina. Things can all change.
No, I know. Let's get to
who knows.
Let's get through the 49ers
Sure.
first. But I just want.
I like that. That's an interesting number, though.
All right, major anniversary tomorrow for the tri-state area.
January 8th. So wait a minute. Today's the 8th.
Today's the 7th. So tomorrow's January 8th.
Can you give me the year?
Well, the year will give it away.
30-year anniversary.
Oh, that gives it away. That gives it away.
What is it?
Blizzard in 96.
Here was Cecily Tynan 30 years ago on January 7th, 1996, talking about what we could expect.
But the big story in Action News is a winter storm warning for the entire Delaware Valley. And for the very latest on what we can expect, let's go outside to Cecily Tynan. Cecily?
Well, Rob, no doubt this is going to be a major winter storm. AccuWeather says all the snowstorms we've had so far this season, just dress rehearsals for this one. Action Radar shows the system now to show you the magnitude of the storm. Look at this big bulk of moisture basically stretching all the way from D.C. over to Chicago, back down to the Gulf Coast. And if we put this into motion, this system is moving very slowly. Now, this means probably in the early morning hours is when snow will start to develop. Then it probably won't end until sometime Monday. And because of this huge storm, we have a winter storm warning in effect for the entire Delaware Valley. Now, we're not even talking inches anymore. 1 to 2 feet of snow possible from the storm. In addition, wind gusts up to about 40 miles an hour. This means we'll be experiencing blizzard conditions. By this time tomorrow night, it probably won't even be safe to go out of the house.
And then, we know what happened. And my parents have home videos, photos of me in this. I was, 3.
Jamie, our friend Jamie Lynch, if I'm not mistaken, this is what they lost their house to.
Oh, is that right?
Because of their house was on the inlet in Jersey.
Okay.
And because of the snowplows putting the snow into the river, it caused the melting snow caused the flooding.
About that.
And I believe that caused the street to flood out.
So Philadelphia officially got 30.7 inches of snow. So that's 2.5 feet.
That's incredible. That is incredible. Because that's absolutely
so
now
you were in the ATL.
And I know this. At one point when the blizzard of 96 was going on, and I'm talking to Betty and I'm talking to my buddies up here, I was in a T-shirt and track pants down south.
Yeah.
Like I was in a T-shirt and track pants going, oh my gosh. It was probably like 50.
Were you like locked into the Weather Channel at that point?
Oh, absolutely, because it was like crazy. And I'd been gone a year at that point, a year and a half, a little over a year, and was like, you got to be kidding me. Because that's a crazy storm. Blizzard in 93 was huge.
Yeah.
But Blizzard in 96 was something totally different.
The photos of me as the little kids look hilarious when they're dressed for the snow because they're all bundled up. They can barely see anything. There's pictures of me just standing next to it.
Connor, you weren't even here.
I was a 2-year-old in North Carolina.
You were in North Carolina.
Yeah, so you
never even had family in the area for it. No clue.
They showed Connor pictures on the TV of it, and he said, I never want to live in snow. That's where his hatred of snow came from.
Yeah, well, here you are now.
There you go, Connor.
All right, what do we got on the text line there, Connor?
All right, so we have a bunch of people checking in on this Eagles-49ers game, and this texter checks in on the thought process with what the game's going on. They say this is a question better answered after the season with the Nick Sirianni stuff, but if we went out and have significant offensive production through the playoffs, I believe everyone on the Eagles stock is way up like it was last year, including Nick Sirianni's and maybe even Kevin Petullo.
Well, yeah, if they win out, they're not.
Yeah, no, nobody's getting fired.
I think it's the only thing. It's the only thing that saves Kevin Petullo's job, in my opinion. The only thing.
If they get to the conference championship and they win 17-13 each game, that probably won't be enough to get them back.
If they win,
win a Super Bowl,
if they go to the Super Bowl and the offense looks good, they win 3 playoff games and go to the Super Bowl, and the offense looks good, Kevin Petullo could come back. Any other thing, I do not believe he's got a chance to come back.
All right, real quick before we get out of here, check out the deal of the week. Open to close lift ticket to Camelback Mountain for just $40. 12 hours to enjoy 39 trails, fully lit night skiing, and high-speed lifts at the largest ski resort in the Poconos. Get this deal while supplies last at 975thefanatic.com/deals. Also, starting tomorrow, we have 2 pairs tomorrow, 2 pairs Friday for the True Fan Travel tailgate before the Eagles-Niners game.
Awesome.
That's going to be great. It's going to be good weather. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Middays with Marks comes your way next here on The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Eagles eyeing their opponent. I'm Connor Thomas and the Eagles. Another day closer to a matchup with the 49ers in the wild card round. Sunday, 4:30 at the Link. And the 12-win Niners are a pretty darn talented football game. Wouldn't have team. They wouldn't have those 12 wins if not. Vic Fangio and Kevin Petullo talked about that yesterday for their respective sides of the ball. Here was what Kevin Petullo had to say about the 49ers defense.
Do a good job. They're really, really well coached. Coach Saleh does a good job. He's done a good job for a long time. They fly around with the ball. They're very physical. I mean, they play extremely hard. They're disciplined. So it's going to be a good test.
It will be. Every playoff game is. We'll see if the Eagles are up for that test. We'll get our first injury report of the week today as we get to see how much resting the starters in Week 18 paid off for the Birds. Nick Sirianni will also meet with the media today at 11:50 a.m. You can hear that on Middays with Marks. The Flyers had an impressive win over the Ducks last night, 5-2 final. Trevor Zegras scored 2 goals in the first period against his former team. They're off tonight. Sixers back on the floor tonight hosting the Wizards, a 7 p.m. tip-off. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's once-a-year sale and clearance is here. Their sleep experts will help find your dream bed from a quality selection. They make sleep easy. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.